Did I do it wrong? Pete.
Folks at home, welcome to another episode of IKE Live. And obviously, Mike is not here in studio right now. He is off traveling the world. I think he's in NYC right now. He's going to be Skyping in later. And we look forward to talking to him and seeing what's up. He's filming shows, fishing tournaments. I don't know, whatever he's up to. He's up to everything all the time. And we look forward to talking to him. Man, we've got a great show lined up tonight. We've got Noah Wheeler in-house tonight from Real Snot. Great product, great line treatment product. We're going to hear the story about how that all got developed and some interesting things that happened at the Classic and not so fun things down there. You guys are going to want to hang in there to hear that story. We've got James Watson is going to be calling or Skyping in. There's a lot of things happening with BTL, with one-on-one. A lot of interesting stuff there. We're going to be looking forward to talking to him there. We've got the champ, Jason Lambert, from the FLW, who absolutely crushed them, dominated the field by 30 pounds. I won a tournament once by 18 pounds, Dave. But that was pretty good.
But who's counting?
Yeah, who's counting?
People still had antennas on the TV, right? Seriously. Right?
They don't have tournaments there anymore. Yeah. But anyway, I'm looking forward to talking to him. Some controversy, FLW. If you guys watched it, Hayes and Lambert got into it. Starting spot. We're gonna be talking to Lambert about that. We're gonna be addressing that whole scenario. So that is going to be on the show tonight as well. And Bass University, IKE Live is brought to you by a number of great sponsors. Our title sponsor is Mystery Tackle Box. We're going to be having a live unboxing in just a little while. And Mystery Tackle Box has a really cool new product. It's an elite tackle box. Top brands, $60 value for $39.90. You can upgrade. Use the code IKELIVE. When you sign up, you get 50% off any box and 30% off the Elite box. So you definitely want to check that out. It's all the top stuff. The stuff you use, Dave.
Amazing.
Top shelf.
And you can store all those beautiful Mystery Tackle Box floors in your Flambeau box.
Nice transition.
Now, before we talk about all the promo code and all that other stuff, let me close.
No
testimonial. Hands-on testimonial. In my canoe the other day, had my jig box go over in my airtight Flambeau, and it floated like a toy boat. I swear I thought it was gone. I thought I was going to be diving for it or pulling for it or something. It floated. They're that airtight. You do not have to worry about it underneath in your in your gunnel, getting the moisture. It's a great product, and I swear, highly recommend getting you some Flambeau boxes. All right, now promo code IKELIVE, 20% off your entire order at flambeauoutdoors.com. And again, guys, I can't stress enough, your jigs, your terminal tackle, those boxes alone are a couple $100, and go spend the $4 or $5 to get the box to put them in. It's like having the best gun in the world, and you're going to put it in your sock, and not even have like an ankle holster or something. You know what I mean? Take care of your tackle, guys. All right?
Especially if you have a tendency to tip your canoe.
Well, not playing around with it, just playing around and having some fun with it, you know?
Nah, that's cool.
Yeah.
We love Flambeau. They make the best tackle boxes. Keep all my stuff there, too. Liquid Mayhem. We love Liquid Mayhem scent. I'm telling you, it's one of the most underutilized components in bass fishing. You need to pay attention to scent. It's going to get you extra bites all the time. Cold water, warm water, you name it. Liquid Mayhem makes great sense. Shad, garlic minnow, crawl, garlic crawl, and la leech, as Ike always says. Got some new flavors coming. Nightcrawler and how do you say it? Anise. Anise. Crawfish.
Anise.
So check out Liquid Mayhem, guys. We have a promo code IKELIVE25 and get 25% off all your Liquid Mayhem.
Anise?
What's
that, a prom date in Mud Lick, Kentucky? Sorry, Mud Lick, Kentucky.
Speaking speaking of things that don't flip over,
Now, Hobie kayaks. You guys are the Cadillac kayaks. You know that. You've heard us say that all the time. I'm in one now. 6'3", 230-ish. Up to 230 a little bit. Not been in the gym. New job. Handles me just fine. And as you saw in the video, they are faster for about 150 yards than a 101 horsepower trolling motor on a regular
Pound thrust.
size John boat. All right.
Pound thrust.
What'd I say?
Horsepower. Dude, you
right.
smoked.
They know what I mean.
You smoked that
Yeah.
16-foot tin
Yeah,
boat.
Exactly. Like Brian said. Guys, I can't say enough about them. If you are in the market to buy yourself a John boat or a canoe or one of those other kind of, I forget, like the pontoon type boat, they're like John boats. What do they call it? I forget there. Guys, please, Hobie kayaks. I'm not even in the big one. I'm in the PA-12. And like I said, 6'3", 230-ish, no problem. All right?
kayaks are taking over the world, as is TH Marine. If you own a bass boat, you got TH Marine products on your boat. They build the best stuff, the stuff that we all use. We use it every day. I saw a lot of use of their culling systems in this week's tournaments, FLW and Bassmasters. TH Marine is the absolute best. Bass University as well, for some of you that may have tuned into Bass University Live just last Monday. You can go check that out at Bass U TV. Try it for free, guys, right now. Go over, use the code TRYBU. You can check it out. It's got over 400 instructional seminars by the greatest anglers in the world, talking about what they're really good at. If you want to learn how to bass fish, if you want to improve your bass fishing game, it's all you need. Bass U TV.
And also, Pete, don't forget to mention, go to the YouTube channel for Bass U. You get snippets, and you get snippets that's just enough where if you watch 4 or 5, you're going to be subscribed by the time you're done. I was watching the swim bait one with Fred Rumbanis the other day, and I got a question to ask you later on about it. But, yeah.
I've been using those swim baits down on the Chesapeake.
Check them out on YouTube.
We're on YouTube as well.
Yeah.
And we are brought to you by the guys in studio.
Real Snot, guys. Improves casting distance, kills line memory, helps your guides from icing. Unless you leave it outside overnight like Pete does sometimes when he just leaves his boat and right in the driveway. Doesn't even care because he gets his stuff for nothing. It's also great on fluorocarbon and braided line, right? So, especially us kayak guys and us canoe guys, we all got to stick together. You're going to get, in my opinion, 10, sometimes 15 feet further on your cast, and that's no BS. What kind of mistake can you make? Buy a little bottle of it. You're going to love it. You're going to just use it. You're going to absolutely love the product. There's nothing else you're going to put in your boat for that price that you're going to get that much benefit from what you spend. All right, buy some of that stuff. Stop being cheap. Come on.
Ike Live 25.
Is there a curve? Oh, that was a whole nother thing.
25% off. We also are brought to you by Tackle Warehouse.
But where did they get 25% off from? The Real Snot site?
Where do they get 25% off from? Just go directly to Real Snot. Use the code IKELive25. You get 25% off your Real Snot order. We're also brought to you by Tackle Warehouse, which you can also get your Real Snot there as well. Tackle Warehouse is the best. They have the greatest tackle for bass fishermen. Everybody uses them. So definitely check out Tackle Warehouse. We're also brought to you by Line Cutters, featured right here on the table here at Ike Live. Line Cutters is an amazing product. You can never find your scissors, never find your pliers. You can put a flush-mounted line cutters on your boat. It's always there, always where you need it. And you can also get a discount there. Ike Live Rules 20, and you get 20% off everything line cutters at linecutters.com.
You think Vance might be able to invent like a really awesome hook remover? You know, based off what happened in studio recently.
I think we may need one. Certainly, Brian would be in the market for one.
Yeah, man, no doubt, dude. Come on, Vance, if you're watching, you got to get that genius together and get us a good hook remover.
Yeah, BTC 8, a whopper plopper hook.
We'll talk about it later. All right.
We'll see the story and the video and the surgeon to my right.
I can't take any credit. We'll talk about it later. I can't take any credit. I'm the reason.
And Traeger Grills.
Yep.
We are brought to you by Traeger Grills.
Guys, if you watch the debacle of that Facebook Live we tried to do without Mike, none of us are pros at this, and I'm sorry. All right. But man, that grill, so Noah caught tuna in Key West, brought them to us. we grilled the tuna on there with the wood pellets in there. Oh my God, the smoked flavor that was on it. We put asparagus on the grill. Brian brought some skirt steak. It was an awesome way to start the show. We didn't have any carbs, so we're not falling asleep on you. So we're still high energy, high protein. Probably took about 80 grams of protein in the last half hour.
Nice. We need it.
Go ahead.
We need it. And we're going to talk to Noah. I got to have Noah's life. He's Key West catching tuna. He's bass fishing all over the country.
I know.
Inventing stuff for your
products
line.
all over the place.
What a life. What a life. But
All right, folks.
Traeger Grills is great. And we also want to thank the police, EMT, and military for all that you guys do. I just want to make a special shout out here to Tom and Mark. These are two state police guys, state police officers. One freshly retired, the other one just beginning his career. They were my customers out on water training this week on the Chesapeake, and Tom putting in 29 years. Thank you for all your service.
Wow.
Mark just getting started. He's in his second year, and this past year he's been in 2 shootouts. That he's been fortunate to come out unscathed.
Where's he a trooper at? What state?
Pennsylvania.
Okay. Wow. Dang.
Pennsylvania and Delaware. Those two guys.
Okay.
And thank you for everything that you guys do to take care of us and give us the freedoms that we have. We are coming right back.
That's right. A viewer on the message board suggested we get an eyeglass sponsor for you guys squinting hard up there, reading those plugs.
So, viewer, we're like being interrogated by like 100 Q-beam spotlight bulbs shining down on the face.
I'll turn them down.
Our eyesight's bad for the forms. Is that what he means?
Yeah.
I can't say nothing.
I keep telling Brian to use the old man print for this, so I won't need glasses.
Hey, he has it on 11. He's got to put them on like 14, dude. On
Dude,
the font.
it's big. You got
16, 14
Come
font,
on.
Brian.
I've jumped up a lot since we started this show. I'm just telling you.
It's the sun. It's this. You got to get. That's why you got to get good polarized
All right,
glasses.
guys, we'll
Mike's
be right
Renegade
back.
glasses in Walmart, man. Get them things on your eyeballs.
Be right back.
Well, hey guys, we are going to get bigger print or better eyeglasses, and we're going to be right back with some great stuff. Hang in there. We'll be right back in just a couple minutes.
Warning! The following live webcast might contain content that some people find crude, vulgar, or objectionable. When watching this program, please make sure the room is well lit and do not sit too close to the screen. If you're uptight, easily offended, or lacking a sense of humor, please stop watching right now and leave the internet. Now it's time for Ike Live.
What is this foolishness?
How many dreams can you shape in a minute, an hour?
The kind of clean you like best.
Lost 3 of my teeth, too. All right, sir, you lost. Next time you'll win.
Steamy, hard, hearty, delicious, invigorating.
Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to Ike Live, episode 10,572. Appreciate all of you guys being with us. I want to thank everybody for being here. Dave Brosnick, the Crux, replacing the Crux. thanks for being here tonight. And how you doing?
I'm good, man. I mean, how long have we known each other, Pete? Long time, right?
Yeah, at least 15 years or so.
Yeah, Brodzik. Brodzik. Thanks, dude.
How do you say it?
Brodzik, man.
Brozzik?
Yeah, maybe I don't call you Glusnik.
I'm not sure that's true.
Yeah, good point.
I'm not sure that's true. Well,
Everything's good, Pete. Thanks for asking.
hey, glad to have you in the back. We've got BTC and E. How are you guys?
Looking for my shot because you went out of order.
I went out of order.
There we
I
are.
saved the guess for last.
Do the couch first, and then you come back here.
That's all right.
Freestyling.
Hey, I decided to order around this
Well,
joint.
apparently. Pete the producer. We're good, man.
I run.
How's your finger, Bri?
Outstanding.
Did you get stitches?
Yeah. Nope.
Nope.
Just a little pinprick.
Little pinprick. Little
Yeah, man.
hook removal episode. We'll be talking about that
We'll be
later.
talking about
you
that
doing all
shortly.
right? Any 6-pounders today? James Riley caught one.
Oh man, not today. No, no fish today.
No fish today.
No fish. No
Eric
fish,
was working
nothing.
today, man. Putting
Man.
the work in on the computer.
Making
Making all that funny videos.
Attaboy. Attaboy. Keep it up. And of course, live in studio, we have the boys from Real Snot, who we're really looking forward to talking to. Noah Wheeler and
We're going straight. We're going straight rich.
Rich V. He's got a name that's harder than Brosnick and Gluzik, so we're going to say Rich V. Thanks for being here, guys.
Thank you for having
Thanks
us.
for having us.
Absolutely.
Man, it's great. You guys, we've been hanging out a lot. We saw you guys down at the Classic. And,
Oh, man.
it's just for a little while.
I stayed there though.
Yeah.
I wasn't leaving. They weren't. They were not gonna fry me.
Yeah. Yeah, that was really unfortunate. I mean, for those of you guys that don't know, you guys always have a booth at the Classic. They sell their products and promote their products down there. And, man, you had a really unfortunate thing happen to you at the hotel.
We did. Rich and I walked out at 8:05. 15 minutes later, then the trailer was stolen, and walked out. And he said, "Where's the trailer?" And I was thinking, I wasn't drinking last night. Where's the trailer? And sure enough, somebody came out, cut the lock, took it right off the back of the truck, and gone.
Gone. I
They-
can't imagine.
Well, I laughed for a little while. He was like, "Why are you so jovial about this, dude?" I'm like, "I'm insured, brother.
Yeah.
We just sold all of our product, and we're going to Tahiti."
That was actually my line. My job is to sell a product. I'm like, I did my job. I got rid of it all.
Sold it all.
Oh,
You
man.
did.
And then I talked to my insurance agent at 11:30. He's like, "Oh, you're not covered at a show like that unless you have a rider.
Oh,
$180 rider a year covers you all." I was like,
Ah.
Cost you how much?
a lot.
North
Yeah.
of 200 grand.
Yeah, no.
Ah,
So,
man.
needless to say, like 1:30, I was knee deep in dirty martinis. So.
Well, you know, when we were down there, the police were investigating, and we had reports that kids were distributing Real Snot T-shirts.
Oh, everybody
at
in the
school.
everybody in the hood was wondering who the rapper Riri's Knot is. They were all like, who's the Riri Knot?
It's true. We have the best dressed hood in Greensboro. Greenville, South Carolina has the best dressed hood ever.
Really not.
Well, they
Yeah.
so they use that information to track them down.
They
The
did.
guy showed up at the scene of the crime.
Well, Detective Collette, I got to give my shout out. The guy was awesome. Young
Yeah.
guy, called us, and within 2 hours of us reporting it, he said, "I'm on it." He's like,
Yeah.
I'm going to catch these guys. I'm like, "Okay, cool," you know, and he was giving me updates like every hour.
I wonder
Yeah.
what gave Inspector Clouseau the best tip.
I don't know.
Somebody's using Real Snot as a cologne, and they find the next spot up is the guy with a T-shirt. You got a T-shirt and a hat. And then there's one's out the back of the.
Well, we were at dinner. So
Yeah.
Wednesday. So this happened Wednesday morning, right? 7:50 a.m. Which these guys were bold. We're at dinner, Pete and I and JK and Rich, and at like 8 o'clock, I get this call from this little old lady in Greenville, and she said, "Mr. Wheeler?" I said, "Yeah." She said, "I can't remember her name." She's like, "This is Mrs. Wilson, and I got your card out of the pile of trash you dumped on my front yard." I said, "You got my card?" And then it hit me. I'm like, "Card in the trailer?" I'm like, "Where are you? You have?" I said, "They stole my trailer and dumped it on your front lawn." So she told us, and I said, Pete picked up the check and let me go.
Oh, wow.
So thank you, Pete.
Hold on, Pete
And-
picked up. He might have just picked it up. He didn't. Right? He didn't hand it to you. He picked it up and handed it to you.
No, you actually did check. So Rich and I, we jump in the truck, we run down, we get into downtown ghetto area of Greenville, South
Right.
Carolina.
Where Riri was.
Yeah.
Riri Knot.
And I said, "Look, let's do a lap because we don't know what we're getting into. We got a tip. Who
That's
knows?" So we do a lap. As we're doing the lap, there's a tree in the front yard of kind of a really suspect kind of house, that has the barrel of fire coming out and 4 guys standing around it. Well, they have my T-shirts in the tree on hangers.
For sale.
For sale.
They faux sale.
I swear, I can't make this up.
They faux sale.
So we drive by. We go down to this little, parking lot. Call the police. The police show up and they said, "Look, we'll go check it out." Really nice female cop. She was in charge. She was very nice looking too. And she said, "I'll go check this out. We'll bring you guys up there." So she comes down and gets us. We go up, and the guy's, poor old guy. He's like kind of semi-homeless and. So he was selling them out of the tree. He's like, "Look, man, everybody was looting it. They came and dumped the trailer right out here, and we all got the stuff." And she said, "Listen, mister, if I go into this house and I find that 70-inch television that they reported missing, you're going to jail." And he goes, "Ma'am, with all due respect, you think if I had a 70-inch television inside, I'd be out here on this porch selling these T-shirts?"
Yeah.
Good point.
And that's all she had to hear.
That's it. We all burst out laughing.
Yeah, guilty guy's not answering that way.
Yeah. So we got
Wow.
The next day we got a call that the trailer had been found. Went over there, pull up because we had to come and I had to sign to let them go into the trailer, the forensics guys. So we're standing there waiting for forensics, and we got there, and Rich is looking at the trailer, and he's like, "Yo, they put a lock on the trailer so nobody can steal it from
Thief
it."
that stole it put a lock on the trailer.
So I'm like,
No steelbacks.
No. So I said, "Look,"
no steelback. He might have had a rider too. Even by the time you guys found it.
Like he said, he didn't have a rider. We got it.
Right, he already called it in. So I said, "Look, these guys might come back," and the cop's like, "Look, man, this could take weeks. They might not come back for a long time." So I was like, "We should stake it out." But anyway, we're standing there. About 15 minutes later, all of a sudden, the car pulls up. The car that was in the surveillance video, this Jeep Cherokee. The guy cranks the window down about that far, looks out, sees us and the cops, rolls it up, and takes off. They went in like a 25, 30-mile hot pursuit after these guys at high speeds.
Nice.
And they had to call it off because they were going down a 6-lane highway on the wrong side of the road through red lights.
What they do.
And
I thought he might be like dumping the real snot on the street. And
right, they were sliding.
The snot slip.
Dukes of Hazzard. Yeah,
It's like a good James Bond just jamming out the
Winder.
Enos and Boss Hog were like, "God, what is this real snot on the road?" Come on, boy. Boss, I don't know what it is. It's real snot.
Had to call off the chase.
They called off the chase. I'm telling you. It was a Hollywood movie. And every turn was just better than next.
Man.
We woke up Saturday morning, went out to the truck. I go to pop the tailgate. Rich goes, whoa, what's wrong with your tailgate? I go, I don't know. Somebody had tried it. So they steal backup camera tailgates because they're worth some money. Somebody had stuck a crowbar into my tailgate and tried to pop that off to get it off.
Wow.
I'm like,
Oh my God.
So when I called the detective and I told him, he's like, "Don't call that in while I'm working." I'm like, "Don't worry, we're good." One thing after another, bro.
Yep. So is that the final? What was the final outcome?
So Monday, I guess Rich and I were driving back, and I get a call from Detective Collette. He's like, "Hey, how far are you?" I said, "We're a couple hours up the road." He's like, "Well, we got everything." I'm like, "What do you mean you got everything?" He's like, "Well, apparently the thieves had fallen asleep in their car, and I guess they had a wild night, and it was a husband and wife.
Ran out of gas.
Yeah, they ran out of gas first, and then they fell asleep in the car. Somebody called in a tip on the car, so the police show up. They're sleeping in the car.
Out on the highway
The
somewhere.
same stolen car.
Same stolen car that they stole everything
Good
with.
grief.
So they got him, and they did. The guy rolled over, and he told him where they pawned the television that was still in the box that I bought on the way down for our display, 70-inch TV. So we got the TV back. We got a couple of busted up lockers that we used for the display, and we did end up getting about 250 of the jerseys back, the original jerseys, but all the T-shirts were gone, all the new jerseys were gone, all the hats were gone. I mean, it was a ton of product, and we still have no idea where all the real snot is. We had 3,000 bottles of real snot. They're all gone.
How soon do you think some dummy thought it was cologne? How quick do you think that
Or
happens?
hair product.
Or Afro Sheen. Or
Yeah,
something,
hair
dude.
gel.
Like, how long?
Something.
Someone had to think it was like something you could spritz on yourself.
Right.
You know what I
I'm
mean?
hoping they spritz the garlic on it. We're like, woo, holy cow. Because we were launching garlic down there, and it was stanky.
dude.
We were going to call it stanky because it's nasty. I mean, it's
Dave.
a really good smell.
You know that contest idea you were talking about?
Yes.
We should run that.
Refresh me, dude.
Okay. No, what are we giving away tonight, bud?
So
Let's go with it right now.
Steve
Donis
hooked me up. He's an unbelievable character drawer and cartoon drawer. So I said, Steve, I need a T-shirt representative of what we went through down there, and Dave is actually wearing it. So
Right.
here it is. So you tangle with real snot, you're going to get caught. So I said, I need a bass. I need him in some prison stripes, and I need him in behind bars, and that's what Steve did. It's unreal. So I got a limited run of some T-shirts. We're going to put them up for sale on the website as of tonight.
Okay.
And we're going to donate back to the Ike Foundation. So all the proceeds are going to the Ike Foundation. I don't want any money off that thing. But we're going to give away 5 T-shirts tonight from Ike Live. And Brian,
to the
refresh
person.
me.
Yeah. So what is the punishment that the thieves?
Oh, that's right.
Right.
That's right. Yeah.
And we have-
Dial it
Brian
in.
and I came up with that.
We have to
today
first.
on
We have
the
to
phone.
pull up the picture of what this lovely couple looked like
All right,
too.
but can
if we have that.
Finish the contest.
So the contest tonight, guys. If you can come up with a violent or utterly disturbing type of punishment, the most creative punishment that gets us all chuckling in the room is going to win. So come up with something funny. What punishment should we have for this beautiful couple Eric's going to show
The
us?
duo.
All right, run it.
Wheeler and his business partner drove into Greenville from Delaware last night, got a good night's sleep, and this morning woke up to a nightmare. I said, where's the trailer? All told, over $200,000 worth of merchandise.
But we're a very small company, and this is a catastrophic loss for us.
There they are.
Got him.
Shout out to Ed Bassmaster.
Yep. Well, that's great. They caught him.
They did.
They caught him. But
And you know what's crazy? Like 2 weeks later, I went down and I was with Detective Collette, and he said they still haven't had one visitor and they haven't made one phone call, and they had $175,000, I think, bond.
Yeah.
So they're not getting out.
And with the dollar amount too, you're talking about a seriously indictable crime. You're talking about prison time. You're not talking about county jail, and you're out after time served.
They found it listed out too: steal a trailer, do this, do that. So they got them on some other charges too.
Yeah.
Right.
Conspiracy to commit.
They thought my trailer was a black work trailer full of tools.
Yeah.
Because most of the stuff they had pawned,
Sure.
besides the TV, was all work stuff.
Right.
So construction guys.
Yep.
And I'm glad. Truthfully, I mean, it was catastrophic for me, but I'm glad they're off the street because there are guys walking around, BC, you guys know, you buy a truck full of tools and somebody steals them, you're out of business.
Yeah.
And if you don't have a rider on your insurance, you're really out of business. So all you guys out there that are construction workers and anybody's got, because everybody says, oh, it's a trailer, it's on your truck, you're covered. You're covered for liability. You smash into a Mercedes, yeah, they'll pay it. But if anything's stolen out of that thing, you're done.
Insurance is amazing, right? Like when I smashed my Ranger, I didn't realize it until after the fact, of what's not considered totaled, and I was just like, oh my god, how do you people sleep?
Yeah. And we always kind of default to what they give you. Look at your policy. I was telling Rich today, I looked at my homeowners and I'm like, okay, contents for the house, $375,000. I'm like, okay, my wife probably has that in shoes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Yep.
You can't add all that. As soon as you start adding all that up, you're like, wow, we're way over that. So make sure your coverages are right. And I'll tell you, I was talking to one of the guys I met at the Classic who was an insurance guy who was trying to help me with my new business insurance.
Okay.
And he was talking to me about my boat insurance because he does a lot of the guys on the Elites and the FLWs. He's really specialized in that. So Ben was talking to me. He said, look, man, be careful with wrapping your boat. If you wrap it, make sure you have an insurance that covers that because that can be considered a commercial vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of little loopholes. Your standard boat insurance that we all get from wherever, make sure that because the last thing you want is
It'll
we
it'll
don't
put you
cover-
out.
It does. It does.
Yep.
So
Hey guys, whoever's if you guys are commenting about the punishment to win a T-shirt, you got to do it on the Ike Live page, IkeLive.com, not the Facebook feed. Facebook's timeline is a pain in the ass to monitor. And
Yeah, so guys, you got to be on, unfortunately, on your laptops in order to be able to, comment. Win
on the
win
Ike Live
shirt.
page.
But I want to say, I'll tell you what, the outpouring of support from you guys, I mean, we're family, but I mean, like all the other people and people sending me emails saying, what can I do? You know, I was like, just go buy a bottle. That'll keep us going. You know, we need to get, back in the game. And, the biggest losers when in all of this, I mean, despite the fact that, my trailer's gone and all the contents, the biggest losers are all the foundations and the veterans, the high schools, all the people we donate to that rely on us to send them product for prizes and stuff. That's how I fund it, with these shows and what we make out of the shows and the gear we buy at the shows. We can use that to kind of, we'll send them, prize packs, whatever. It's hard to do that when you lose all that inventory and, it's
Great segue. Where can your product be purchased at?
So we have, Tackle Warehouse, obviously. We have, our www.realsnout.com. We have a ton of small retailers that have been supportive throughout it. We're in Walmart. We're in 1,500 Walmart stores, which was another debacle because Walmart and my UPC code didn't match up with the Walmart code. So we're working through that now. So,
is that fixed?
It is, and it's getting fixed. More and more. We're putting on the new codes onto the bottles. So Ike approved as it all those Walmart stores is 1,500, and if you go to buy one there, and you go to the register and they can't get it through the point of sale, tell them to drop the last number. That's the easiest way. Drop the last number in the UPC 12 code.
Oh my
It's
gosh.
11. It's
Have you ever asked someone at Walmart where the sporting goods department is? I imagine the last number's probably harder than that.
I'm just going to give you this stare. Like,
Gotta
really?
be positive.
No,
Sad
but I'm
easy.
gonna tell you
Just
what.
drop the last number.
Anyone who's ever experienced, go to Plattsburgh and Walmart. Go to the Walmart in Plattsburgh, New York. It's the most beautiful experience you'll ever have. It's unlike any Walmart experience around here. It's like people actually care about showing you where
Agreed.
stuff is, dude. I couldn't believe it when I went there.
Well, so that's crazy though. People are taking the product to the register and not being able to check out.
Yeah, they couldn't check out because our UPC code is whatever it is, UPC-128A, which is a universal code. But then Walmart has UPC 1A, I think it is, and it's a new code it's actually their new POS system that
Right.
So our fault. We're fixing it. We're working with our distributor, and he's got 45 reps out there changing out UPC codes. I had to print out 16,000 UPC codes and overnight them the next day.
Oh man.
So fun stuff.
Yeah, it is fun.
Well,
stuff.
hey, they've been supportive. Walmart's
We don't
been
quit.
awesome.
You guys are forged. You guys are forged in fire.
Dude, I know.
You're like Rocky training in the alley, dude, while Apollo's training in like a high class gym. You guys are just forged in
That's
goddamn
right.
grit.
Get that while you can. Don't give that sucker no statue. Give him guts.
You're gonna chase chickens and you're gonna crap thunder. Yeah, right?
Well, I'm glad you guys are persevering. Obviously, I know you're going to, but the you got this. Your life. You're traveling around catching tuna down in the Keys. You're fishing all over the place.
By hand.
Yeah.
But where did you come up with the concept for? You just sitting around.
Well, you know what?
I need this.
And here's what happened. So, in 2014, I'm fishing a tournament with my brother. I'm in Georgia, and we were on this point set up. Wind's blowing. I'm throwing a spinnerbait, like the old spinnerbait that's got so many bends in it and dings in it. You can't. It's your favorite spinnerbait. And I'm throwing it. All of a sudden, I throw this really hard cast, and it goes zzz, and the line goes out. The whole thing goes out, and we can't go across the point because we're trying to catch this one school of fish. And I lost my spinnerbait, and I was like screaming. I'm like ready to break rods. My brother's like, "It's because you use that real something, not my product." And he's like, it's got whatever petroleum, and it breaks your line. It breaks down your line every time.
Erodes it.
So I'm like, somebody's got to do this better than this.
Right.
And I've tried others. So I went online. I started researching. I'm like, okay, there's only 5 or so out there and there are a lot of them have this different concept. Some are silicone, which stain fluoro, stuff like that. And I'm like, nobody's thought of a better product. I'm an IT guy. and I can figure out how to do this better.
Right.
So I called up one of my buddies I call him the bald-headed Doc from Back to the Future. He's a hydrophobic chemist. So Toby West,
The mad
shout
professor.
out. He is the mad professor. I'm like, dude, I know you have this product that you put on the bottom of a boat that'll make a boat go faster. So sailboats, his product, it's called eel snot. So he puts it on the bottom of a boat, and the sailboat racers will go faster. So I'm like, hey, look, if you can do that, you can figure out how to make line come off a reel faster, and condition it. And he's like, I think I can do that. Yeah, let's work on it. So 8 months later, we launched the product. I went through all these different formulas with him. Some of them were a little thicker and a little whiter than I wanted it to look, on a reel. And we finally figured it out. Yeah, Pete's laughing, but
No, a lot like you. About 15 years ago, I was using the aerosol-based ones, and I stopped using them. I mean, it was too much. It was too messy. I just felt that it was making the line feel different.
Yep.
Changes colors.
I didn't come back into it until you guys came out with a natural-based product, and I haven't stopped using it since, man.
Yeah.
You can eat my stuff if you need to.
Yeah. Well, it's good to know. That's what they were doing before they went to jail. The You got something for us? You got some contest entries?
We do. We have some awesome guesses coming in for this Real Snot contest. This is what we're looking for, guys. This is definitely what we're looking for. First one from Zach. Make them sit in a dunk tank full of real snot at the next weigh-in, and each angler gets a shot at dunking them. Solid start.
Actually, he should only get the only shot at drowning them.
Give me that ball.
Cressy goes, Chinese real snot torture instead of Chinese water torture. And then this is my personal favorite so far. Punishment, ? Make him strap up in Tommy Biffle shorts and drive past a strip club with BTC after midnight. I don't even know what that means necessarily.
There's a lot of things going on there. All right, it's not over with yet.
No, it's not over, but they're in the right direction.
All right, keep them coming, guys. Keep them coming, guys. We got some T-shirts to give away, but so you got this great product, and you can it's not going to degrade your line. It treats your line. It gives you the additional casting distance, less backlashes. It's an amazing product.
Yeah, thanks. It really is. The first guy that I had on the pro staff is a guy named Matt Henry. He's a great fisherman out of Georgia. I took him out for a guide trip, and because I wanted to learn some offshore electronics. And about halfway through the day, he said, "Hey, look, you want to go skip some docks and have some fun?" I said, "Yeah, let's go catch some fish." So we went in, and he put on a shaky head, 1/8 ounce, and he threw it out, and it went 40 feet. And he's like, "Man, I got to change the line." And before that, he told me, "I don't use line conditioner. I don't really believe in them, blah, blah, blah." I said, "Hey, if you're going to change that, try my product. It's not going to hurt anything." He's like, "All right, give it to me." So I told him how to do it. He squirted it on. By the third cast, that thing was out 95 feet. And he literally turned around and he said, "You made a believer out of me," because I'm a guide. He's like, "So I don't have to change my line as often. It conditions your line." And that's what the guides love about it, because you don't have to change them out all the time. You can wait 10 trips before you change out line. Wow. So it really does help.
That's like most of us. We have to be reconditioned to accept it based off the aerosol product that we all quit and left and didn't know that since then things have changed.
Yeah.
Well, it's really helpful, and I use it every day. For my customers, it helps them cast, especially guys that are having trouble getting started, backlash, spinning reels. Well, it's a great product. But I have here in my notes, which I'm interested to hear about, did KVD run you out of his community?
We don't know.
What's going on?
I don't know. I mean, you mean is he the one that took all my stuff? I don't know. No. Everybody said that, but I'm like, no, it wasn't Kevin.
Here, true or false? Is that arrested couple KVD's Lee Harvey Oswald?
Who knows? Is he the shooter in the grassy knoll?
I don't know.
What does he put
him up to it? Or are they patsies?
Does KVD have a product? Or
yeah, he does.
He does?
Yeah.
Okay.
I used to use his product too. It's a good it's a decent product. It's I'd like to say mine's a lot better, but he's got a decent product out there.
Okay.
So
You could talk more shit than that, bro.
I can? Oh, yeah.
He's here somewhere. I don't know where he is. We don't know where he is.
No, he's lurking.
He's here somewhere.
He's in. I tell you what. So a couple years ago, when the elites were here, Davey Height blew up his motor, and he was going to use my boat. And I had at the time I had one of those Lowrance handheld XI5s. Now I've gone to a foot pedal because Davey Height was ready to strangle me. But I went and got my boat for him, and he was like, "I can't use that handheld thing." So Kevin came and lent him his boat, but we spent about an hour talking to him. He was so fun. I mean, we had a blast.
Yeah, no doubt.
That's awesome. Well, I mean, you came up with this product, and is it true that that JK put the beat down on you guys at the recent tournament this weekend down in Georgia?
Ooh.
Oh, the other JK.
The other JK.
Not Jared. You mean Justin?
Justin.
Justin always. You know why Justin? Because he's got Matt. Matt's his partner, the one I was just talking about. Matt Henry is his partner. Matt runs the boat. Justin, I'm just kidding. I know you're watching. You're probably he's probably got steam coming out of his ears. His face is redder than that Rapala sign.
It's all right to say he rides Henry's coattails. There's nothing wrong
a little
with that.
bit. No. I'll tell you what though. Justin can fish. He's a really good.
Sure.
He's
Justin's
great,
good.
He whips them up on that co-angle side.
They're a tough team to beat.
Yeah, they
Both
are.
of those two together are a tough team to beat anywhere they fish.
Wow.
And he knows how to fish with Matt, and Matt knows how to fish with him.
So what's it? I mean, you live in Delaware.
I do.
And you travel down to Georgia to compete in that tournament trail.
He's balling, dude.
Hey, hold his ears. I continue to go every. I love it down there. I mean, I love the guys I've met down there, the people I've met. Grant Kelly lets me put my boat in his garage. It's just I love the South, and I love those lakes.
Yeah.
Even though we don't do very well. Rich is like, why am I busting my head against the wall for 7.5 pounds? I can be on the upper bay catching 30 right now. I'm like, well, there's not 150 boats anymore in a tournament up here. You know, so you go down there, those guys all fish down there. And so there's bigger tournaments. You know, you get to go against a lot larger.
We're the only
pool.
team not from Georgia.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Well, every year. So
Damn
I mean, you get
Yankees.
your butt kicked, and that's how you become a better fisherman. You
Absolutely.
learn how to fish, you know. And it's been an off year down there, so it's been frustrating.
What do you got?
You got to pick some winners. So
Pick some winners.
Let's
All
run
right.
through some more of these, right? So Hunter says, worst punishment I could think of is having them throw a Senko all day for a full tournament.
100%.
I agree.
No, disagree.
I agree.
I'm not even writing that down. I have a vote.
I'm personally not a fan of
So
that.
look, we went down there last time. The last tournament was a 2-day classic, which was this past weekend. Rich said on Thursday, he's like, look, here's my, we're not doing well, so here's my new, this is what I'm going to do. This is my go-to-market strategy. I'm going to get drunk on Friday night, which he never drinks on the night before to me. I'm going to be drunk. I'm going to be hungover. I'm going to throw a Cinco all day.
That sounds tough.
So he did.
It didn't work.
It didn't work?
Dead stick.
Any others?
Let's keep going. Oh, there's more. Joey wants us to roll them in liquid mayhem and goldfish flakes and then feed them to the Asian carp of Kentucky Lake.
Oh, I like that one.
That's
piranha would be good too.
All right.
Ding, ding,
Piranha.
That's good. A piranha.
all right.
That'd be harsh, man. That's getting right after.
Alan wants us to make them clean all the meth pipes in South Carolina using real snot.
You don't need to read no more. You know that's the winner.
Winner, chicken dinner.
We're giving you all
I like
5
it.
t-shirts.
Put on meth
Alan, send your contact info in.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
One
You
more,
win.
let's
He
see.
might just get
Brad.
because.
All right, one more.
That
Brad.
was awesome.
I'm not even going to say mine, dude. What's the point?
You got any more, E?
All right. Brad wants us to make them go out in Jersey wintertime, soak them down with water till they start to freeze, then spray them down with real snot to show how it slows the freezing process of the guys on the rod.
I love it.
You guys are on fire tonight.
That's good. Keep it going.
That's a good one too.
We've got a couple more.
It does work on that
snot
too.
board, water board. That's all I got for now. I'm sure there'll be more.
We knew, Brian. We knew they would
Read
show
Alan
up with
one more
something, dude.
I wonder if they get Ike live at the county lockup.
I was thinking the same thing. Like, I hope they're watching this and just being like, damn.
Are we ready? Are we ready to talk about this,
There's bad.
Brian?
What are we talking about?
Oh, are we granting a winner? Are we giving a winner now?
There's 5.
We're giving five of these are
So
winning.
pick one. We should pick. I think we should pick 2. I got 2 right
The
there.
meth pipe,
course.
for
Those
sure.
guys are good.
And what else do you guys think?
I'm liking the dunk tank.
Yeah.
I'm liking anything involving strippers, Biffle shorts, and Brian.
The Asian carp one?
Carp,
Come
the
on,
Men's
there's a lot
Bike
of
who's
stout
number
ones.
1, and Ice
Yeah.
Melt who's number 2.
Yeah.
That's my opinion. I don't know what you guys think.
Oh, cleaning the meth pipes.
Man,
I love the meth pipe.
Cleaning the meth pipe.
So Alan, you are our first winner for sure. That was fantastic.
That was Alan, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alan
like
was
it.
number 1.
Good job.
Goldfish.
Good memory. That's a salesman
is
right
good.
there. Yeah, that's sales, isn't it? Were you get a sales experience?
No.
Oh, okay.
He's like the top dog
Service
over at
provider.
Snap-on
okay.
Tools, man. He don't let him fool you.
Yeah.
First time he told me he was working for Snap-on, I'm like, they have a $11,000 toolbox, and he's like, yeah, can you believe it's that cheap? I'm like, what? He was like starting to sell me on an $11,000 toolbox. Mine was so much better.
One of the carriers I used to work for, we were talking about it. We would get them into our dock-for-dock pickups, and I couldn't get over how much they were.
Yeah.
But they're nice. I mean, I had.
You guys ready to talk to Lambert?
I had forget the world kind of money.
How you feeling,
I
Pete?
have one.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you want to take a break? Do you want to have them on right now?
We'll take a quick break.
Okay.
Roll for another second.
Yeah, we're gonna have Jason Lambert on in just a little bit. You guys don't want to miss that. Total hammer down there on Kentucky Lake. Smashed them up, 30-pound bags, fishing ledges. Fascinating stuff. Huge win. We're going to be talking to him about the controversy about the guy that was leading the tournament that walked away. And we're looking forward to hearing your opinions about it, and you're going to hear all of ours in the room. That's all going to be coming up. We'll be back in a short break in just a few minutes.
Surprise for you. You gotta come out.
I'm respooling my reels, baby.
Oh, hush. Watch your step. Whoa, watch your step there. Come on. Get them closed.
I got them closed.
No peeking.
Hold my arm so tight.
Oh, all right. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Surprise!
Oh, yes.
Yes! Woo!
Is everything everywhere? Oh, yes.
Wait.
Yes.
No.
Thank you. Thank you. Oh. Yeah.
No, baby, go back.
Look. Oh, yes. Yes.
Yeah, but baby, look. I got you a boat.
Mystery Tackle Box is the perfect gift for the fishing fanatic in your life. It's a monthly box filled with some of the most innovative fishing gear on the market, hand-selected by industry professionals. Check out all the different options available at mysterytacklebox.com.
Hey everybody, Mike Iaconelli here. I love fishing this time of the year. It's cold, it's winter, it's snowing, but if you want to prevent the buildup of ice, use Real Snot. Every time I'm fishing this time of the year, I put a couple squirts on all my guides, especially the tip, before I start casting. Try that tip when you're fishing under these cold conditions, and you're going to catch more fish. See you later.
There's a special place in our hearts for the tools of the trade. They're what we prep for a good day on the water. They're what we clean after a good day in the field. Flambeau's patented Z-Rust technology protects the gear of today from rust and corrosion. Z-Rust for the performance of tomorrow. Preserve, perform, repeat.
You work hard to catch your fish. TH Marine has 2 products to ensure your fish survive. The Oxygenator injects 100% pure oxygen into your live well. That increases fish survival by 35%. For the perfect combo, add G-Juice Live Well treatment. It calms fish, stops bleeding, removes ammonia, and replaces slime coat. Get an Oxygenator and G-Juice and keep your fish alive.
Hey everybody, welcome back. We are live, and our IM board is lighting up. Eric and BTC are back there losing their minds. You guys have got some good ones. Keep them coming. We're going to be giving away a lot of 5 Real Snot T-shirts.
All right, are
Give
you
us
ready
the
to
good
vote on
ones.
some more of these? Okay, here we go. So David suggests that we make them listen to Jacob Wheeler go over how he caught his fish each tournament day.
Oh no, he didn't.
Oh, he did.
Oh,
he did.
No. That's filthy.
Does he mean
if you thought that was
it's not
filthy,
entertaining to listen to that?
well, if you thought that was filthy, El Gordo wants us to coat them with real snot and put them in a cell with Weinstein and Cosby. And then, last but not least, Helicopter Lore for Life wants us to make them sit down for a 6:30 Ike, or sit down at 6:30 for an Ike Live that starts at 7.
I think we should give him a T-shirt just for waiting.
That's amazing.
He gets a shirt.
I mean,
for
how do
waiting.
we pick? Who wins?
Noah picks you, man.
Just
awesome.
I get it, man.
Man, you guys are good.
Right?
You guys keep them coming. But anyway, welcome back and welcome back, guys. I know. Hey, we were just talking about this. I was just I've been on the Upper Chesapeake all week. You guys fish the Upper Chesapeake Bay. The elites are coming here. So I think it's a cool topic for us to just kick into a little bit. Things are changing down there. The elites are going to be facing a whole different body of water. But apparently, and I got the first. There's no grass growing on the flats, or very little, like there's been in years past, and out on the Upper Chesapeake Bay, the Susquehanna Flats. And what happened apparently is that the winter had, a massive ice flow coming down the Susquehanna, and about 10 inches of ice got pushed out and sat on the flats when the north wind blew the water out. So the ice just sat there and just pretty much uprooted anything, changed the bottom configuration. And I don't know if that's true.
Well, it could have tilled it. That makes sense.
I don't know if that's what killed it. I don't know. If that's true.
That's what made
happened.
the Grand Canyon, right?
Yeah,
That's
it's a force. But you get out there right now, and there's 25 square miles of flats out there, and there's probably 5 acres of grass.
Ooh,
it's way down and it's sparse, and that is definitely going to change the complexion of what goes on in that elite tournament. But what hasn't changed is the monster bass that live down there.
Oh yeah.
James Riley, who
you didn't even introduce.
Yeah,
who's
well done. Well
kicking
done.
in the back. I didn't even know he was back there.
You brought him here.
Yeah.
What'd you think he was?
I thought he was hanging out at the bar, just
outside.
eating tuna and drinking
what I
beer,
deal
man.
with. You
I
brought
was
him
hidden
here.
behind the wall there.
And you deny it.
James Riley, great to have. Let's introduce him
What's up,
now.
buddy?
Who went to Machine Head with us 2 years ago?
Behind
That's
Eric's
right.
hair.
Hey, he designed the label for Real Snot.
Designed
really?
the label for Real
He
Snot?
did.
Designed the Bash U logo, designed the Ike Live logo, designed the Ike logo. Yeah. He's got mega artistic talent. And
knows the location of Capone's treasure.
And no matter where I
Maybe
move,
so.
Eric's
No, he
still in
doesn't.
front of him.
It's on the flats.
And BTC
Yes, sir.
will appreciate this. Rich will appreciate this. He loves to throw a Senko all day long. And he did so today and smashed him up with a 6.1
Wow.
7 down on the flats amongst
All right, I gotta
4-pounders
ask you.
throughout the day. So
Good
flats
job.
keeps delivering the big ones. James had a great day out
All
there.
right, so obviously Senko's catch them, but how do you love to throw it?
Yeah.
Wacky, baby.
Well, here's how you love to throw it. I'll tell you right now. Here's the moment. It gives you that moment when that line will go snap, and before you set the hook, man, you don't know what you got. Yeah. You're so fired up, your heart starts beating.
You're asleep
reeling
'cause
out
you're
the
dead
slack.
sticking.
You're gonna hit him. He could be 6.1 pounds, or he could be 12 inches. You don't know.
Let's be honest.
Hey, look,
but it's
Bottom
awesome.
line,
Hey.
a Senko is just a tool like anything else. They're like right now between mid-May to mid-June, sure, it's going to excel more than anything else. But past that, if you're still throwing a Senko all the time, you're probably not going to even be doing as well as if you're punching, throwing faster reaction.
Nah.
It's just
Throw
another tool.
I disagree.
Hey,
I'll tell you what,
Brian.
so January 2nd.
What about the other 9,999 cash you make that day with it?
Right. Well,
January
while you're
2nd,
waiting for it to slowly
2015.
get to the bottom.
I caught an 11.9
Yep.
in Florida on my kayak. in a small little lake. Everything down there is a lake. Old Lake Davenport over by Orlando. I was throwing Cinco all day for like 5 days in a row, catching, pretty decent little fish, but I threw it up the next one little whatever those grass things are that are down there. It was out. Yeah, it was out like 40 feet from everything else. I threw it over there, and my phone went off, so I looked at my phone, so the Cinco's sinking, and I lifted up, and it was taut. And I thought maybe I was caught on that, and sure enough, she moved. I hit her, came out of that water, looked like a Home Depot bucket. I was like, oh my gosh.
I'm going to find a picture of it.
So I think the majority of us fish Senkos with the same level of enthusiasm that we do when we ask a stranger how you doing.
Right.
You know what I mean?
No, they're not fun. They're not sexy, but I'll tell you what, they work.
Yeah.
They work.
That's good.
Yeah, seriously, right?
Hey,
I don't really want to know how you're doing, my friend. I'm sorry.
Dude, I'm on board with Eric, and he's right. It doesn't matter. I mean, you just use whatever tool you got to use, and sometimes it's slow, sometimes it's fast. We all have the things that we like to do, but man, I like to catch fish.
Right.
So I don't care what it takes. I'll even throw a drop shot, which I have a hard time with.
Oh yeah, don't complain about the drop shot if I can't complain about the Senko.
Well,
and I've heard you cry about the drop shot.
I got a valid complaint.
I heard you cry about the drop shot, but I can't talk shit on the Senko.
We talk about it all the time. I mean, we're older. I mean, I'm 50. Yeah. I'll be 52 on Sunday. So, I mean, I grew up throwing those. Remember those worms that had the little spinners on them?
Yep.
What are they, cream worms?
Yeah.
I mean, I was like 10 years old. I caught fish on them.
Yep.
And now we go out and buy $15 baits or whatever, whatever the latest and greatest is, and they'll still eat that same little worm with the spinners on them. Because they weren't alive then, I can guarantee you.
Yep.
Unless they're 40 pounds.
Are you telling me that we have?
Well, you can see the screen, right?
No, I can't see the screen. Hey,
looking handsome and victorious.
Hey, everybody! It looks like we have them with us. The winner, the crusher, dominated the FLW tournament this past week with a crushing 30-pound win, 100 pounds of fish. 30 pounds over second place, right about there. Jason Lambert, the champ. Good to have you with us, buddy.
Jason, are you drinking a 40? What are you drinking there, Jay? Is that a 40?
No, that is that's a little IPA, a little craft beer, man.
Nice.
We're down in southern Oklahoma for Major League Fishing this week, so anytime I go anywhere, I gotta try out the local stuff.
So give it a shout out. What are you drinking, my friend?
Well, I don't even know the name of this. It's like 312 IPA or something like that. Yeah, 312 IPA. Pretty good stuff.
All right.
It's cold and it's beer, so it's all good.
Right.
Well, hey man, I was watching this tournament live, a lot of it, and it was impressive. They did some stats that impressed me too. You had going into this tournament, you had 3 of the heaviest 5-fish stringers ever caught in FLW competition. Out of Kentucky Lake, and you did it again. I think you scored 2 more in there, so you've got like 4 out of the top 10 heaviest weights ever caught on Kentucky Lake, and everybody knows how you're doing it, and you're still able to do it, man. It's pretty impressive.
Well, growing up at Pickwick, fishing, ledge fish my whole entire life, so it's not anything new that I haven't done in the past, but it's just a comfort thing. It's a comfort level, and Pickwick is tiny, man. It's tiny compared to Kentucky, and there's more offshore places to fish on Kentucky Lake, from Kentucky Dam down to say 68 Bridge, than there is on the entire lake at Pickwick. So, it's pretty dangerous when you turn a guy loose that really knows how to read them Garmins up there and let him ride around and look for 2 or 3 days, because we can find all of them. I mean, there's you look at the whole entire lake in 3 days' time if you don't do anything but ride and idle. And it's no secret. It's not a secret at all. I mean, I won on that Castaic Jerky J this time, just exactly the same bait that I threw in 2016, and with that scrounger top head, that wobble head. So I don't know, man. It's a lot of guys just don't get the confidence in it, but that's a confidence bait for me. And everybody's got what they like to do, and that's kind of my deal, man.
It was amazing. Were you using the 5-inch or the 7-inch, or were you mixing it up, or what were you doing?
A little of both. I was throwing the 5 and the 7. that 5, I always joke and call that my finesse bait, which a 5-inch swim bait's not necessarily a finesse bait, but that big 7 kind of did the majority of the damage the last couple of days. The 5 sometimes will get a little bite, get them stirred up a little bit when the 7 won't. So it's just a feel thing. You pick one of them up and throw it a little while, you don't get a bite. You pick the other one up, throw it a little while. Man, it's just kind of feeling out what they're doing. And I mean, if they're eating one of them, naturally you're not going to lay it down and pick the other one up.
Well, I saw you do something really cool live. One of them snapped at it, man. You bowed your rod up and you dropped it down, and you triggered that fish to bite again, or maybe another one in the school. That was pretty awesome to work through the strike, and you wound up catching that fish.
Wow!
Can you walk us through how that happened?
A lot of times those things, especially when you get into big schools like that, I say big schools, that was probably 12, 15 fish school, but a lot of times they'll hit that thing and they don't get it. But if you really don't throw it back in, they're sure not going to get it. So when they hit it, a lot of times they miss it, you just kill it and drop it back down. And it may be the same fish, it may not be the same fish, I don't know. But, I mean, anytime that ever happens, I always do it. And it doesn't matter if it's a swim bait or, a jig or a worm or whatever. I mean, they're trying to feed when that happens. So, if you pull it out of the water and throw it back in there, then you probably missed that opportunity. But if you just kill it, a lot of times they'll follow it down. Like I said, you know how those schooling fish are when you get in groups. A lot of those fish will follow up as one's coming up, and it could be a different fish. There's no way of knowing, but my train of thought on that deal is just keep it down there, and if it's down there, then they have an opportunity. Either that fish or another one has an opportunity to eat it. So just put it back down there to them, man.
Yeah, well, we saw you do it. It was amazing. And I noticed you do something else that was unique. I mean, you're always hitting that thumb bar. You're always dry. Are you trying to keep that bait down within a couple inches of the bottom, or what are you doing when you're hitting that thumb bar all the time?
Well, when you throw anything like that, that wobble head with that bill on it, or even when I throw it with the big chatterbait head, all those things tend to lift. They tend to lift it up off the bottom. And you don't have to do that stuff in 15, 16, 17 feet of water. But fishing as deep as we were last week, 23 to 25, it's just, I feel like it needs to be, not necessarily in contact with the bottom, but it needs to be in the vicinity of the bottom, just for the fact that, those fish are schooled up down there on the bottom. They're not suspended. So, the more appetizing, I guess, you can make that bait to them, and them not have to exert a lot of energy to eat it is probably the best approach.
Well, it was real. I watched you do it. It's pretty awesome. I also watched you smash a 9-pounder live on Saturday, man.
Yeah.
I mean, you didn't. It was so big. You were calling it a smallmouth. You weren't even sure it was a bass because you're like, this thing is huge.
Well, when I hit that fish, I had no clue what it was. I mean, naturally, you think it's a bass when it eats a freaking 7-inch swim bait. But when it hit it, when I hit it and the rod didn't move, I knew it was something big. But, it actually didn't really fight all that much. It fought a little until I got it to the side of the boat. And we were talking about it, and I think Rob Newell even said something on live. He's like, when they did the rewind, he said, I don't think that fish realized it was caught until right then. And that might have been the case, because it wasn't, I knew it felt heavy. I knew there was weight to it. But when it got right to the side of the boat, man, that thing decided it wanted to go on a little jog. And most of the time, big largemouth don't really run like that. But I swore I thought it was a big smallmouth, because that thing right at the side of the boat, it took one of those big, just blistering runs down, peel and drag, and I actually had to thumb the spool because it was pulling on me so hard. I thought it was going to break me. But yeah, man, a 9-pounder anytime is amazing. But when you got the cameras rolling and you can do it on live, that was pretty cool.
It's pretty cool when you got 24 pounds in the boat and then you catch a 9-pounder. Yeah. That's pretty cool.
That doesn't hurt.
No,
that doesn't hurt at all.
Well, I did notice. It's obvious that you attended the Brian the Carpenter School of Network. If any of you guys watch this, how he A couple of times. I think one time in particular, the net got all hung up in the rods.
I was going to say, bash the fish in the head with the net.
Well, fishing FLW, we can use a net, obviously. And, on the days 1 and days 2, you got a co-angler. And most of the time, we allow those guys to net for us, depending on how that goes. I've had an incident this year, actually, where I probably shouldn't have let somebody else net one, but that's neither here nor there. But, yeah, it was actually a careless mistake on my own part. You get down and you start switching rods, pick up another rod, and you don't tuck them back in against the gunnel. And I had them hanging out over the deck. And when I went to drag my net up to net a 5.5 pounder, I picked it right straight up into my rod tips. Yep. So it was a cluster there for a moment, to say the least. But we got down in the seat and got it netted, so all was good. Or got it lipped.
Yeah, I'm not sure sometimes, man. I watch you guys with the nets, and I deal with it too. We're allowed to use nets sometimes in the tournaments I fish, and man, should you just hand land it, or does that net really help you when you got to handle it yourself? I mean, you got a big fish in one hand, you got a cumbersome net in the other hand. Boy, and sometimes guys get out of position. I see the fish jump over the net, through the net. It's hard to handle with one hand.
Yeah. I think
well, it's practice. I mean, and that's the thing, we don't practice enough because we got guys that are helping us, on Thursday, Friday, and it's never an issue until cut day, Saturday and Sunday for us. But with that being said, I'm a strong proponent of the net, not necessarily as a fisherman for the fisherman, but I just think it's just a lot easier on the fish than it is to fight that thing down till it can't even swim and then net it in. I honestly think it's a better conservation move to net them than it is to lip them, but that's a conversation for another time, obviously. But yeah, we all have our moments, and I had one of them.
But there's body language that a co-angler will give you when he doesn't know how to net, right? The one who knows how to do it, his shoulders dipped into it, the net's near the surface of the water. It looks like he's ready to slap out like a slap shot in hockey. You get that guy standing there, he's got the thing in port arms. It's not even near the water. He's standing, his knees are straight, he's straight up and down. You're like, oh my God, just get off the front. I got this, dude. Yeah, you get them guys,
or
man.
when that dude comes to the front of the boat with a net in one hand and his rod in the other hand, that's the guy that immediately you don't want him.
Yeah, and his right foot is on all your rods.
Yeah.
Bending the guys.
Yeah, but it's almost like dude. There's a form that a good netter has versus a guy that's scared to death he's going to knock your fish off the line.
Yeah, I had a guy with good form. He got up there with both hands on the net. He was all athletic, and that fish came and he scooped it with intensity and speed and hit my smallmouth right in the side and threw it about 30 yards back out into the lake. But that can happen from time to time.
I think sometimes, we lost one this past weekend in a tournament we fished, and it's just because I'm trying to fight it into the net. And a lot of times I can swing it a lot better than that, but he's got the net, and he's one of the best I've ever had net a fish for me. And I was trying to swim it into the net, and the fish was like, oh, no, I'm not having anything of that, and went under the boat, and the rest was history. But I think sometimes you're trying, if you can just swing it.
I've never experienced a bad net guy, nor have I ever. I mean, I've come close. I've hit a couple guys' fish before, but I've never knocked one off, dude.
I wouldn't want to knock one of Jason's off. I would feel like, are you kidding me? I just smell less. This guy's good. He's catching living.
World class fish.
Hey,
Right.
Jason, you are world class at ledge fishing. You got to give our listeners, what are we looking for? The number one thing that would help them be ledge. Am I looking for shells? Am I looking for a break? Am I looking for bait? What am I looking for?
Dude, every time I go out, I'm looking for fish, period. Our electronics have gotten so good now. Everybody's got mapping. I mean, and some people's mapping's obviously a little better than others. But with that being said, I mean, there's nothing special about any of those places I caught those fish this past week. I mean, the majority of them are what we consider, the community holes. And it's just, to me, it's more about confidence in your electronics and knowing what you're looking at. I mean, you look at a topo map of Kentucky Lake, for example, or any of the Tennessee, or any of your guys' lakes for that matter. I mean, the creek intersections with the river channel, the long points that come out that face into the current. I mean, all that kind of stuff is this. I mean, that's the deal. Anywhere you go, so it's not. And they obviously don't get on every place every year, but it's more about confidence and like riding around looking at that depth finder and like, okay, that's bass. And when you see them, you know, being able to relate out in the middle of the lake, okay, I saw those fish right here, and being able to get a bait back through them. I mean, and that's just time on the water. I mean, that's time, you know, spent looking at your graphs. You know, I tell guys a lot of times, if you don't know what bass looks like, but you like to fish offshore, and you ever get out fishing on your home lake or whatever, and you catch, you know, you get a little school fired up, and you catch 2 or 3 or 4 in a row, drop a buoy marker where your boat's at. You know where you're casting, crank up and idle over, and then you can see them because you know they're there because you just caught them. But it's just building confidence and looking at them. I mean, dude, I don't care a bit in the world in an offshore tournament at Wick or Kentucky or Chickamauga or even Gunnersville. If it's summertime, come Derby Day, Thursday, I don't care at all to look for 5 or 6 hours a day. I mean, when you find what you're looking for, it doesn't matter how long you spent looking because it don't take but 10 or 15 minutes. Because if they're ready to do their deal, you can be done. I mean, you guys saw that on live Sunday. I mean, by 7:30, I had 25 pounds.
Hey, Jason, you just said something that I was going to ask you a question on. If you were to break down percentage-wise in your practice, how much time you spent graphing versus casting, what would you say it was?
Well, at Kentucky Lake last week, we had about 14 to 15 hours a day of daylight, and I put 32 hours on my engine last week idling. And I didn't get on the water the first day till like 8:30 or 9 o'clock because I lived down at Pickwick, 2.5 hours later, so I just drove up Sunday morning and started. So, I probably spent, 36 hours on the water in 3 days, and I put 32 hours on the engine.
Man, do you like keep like standard equipment like Red Bull or 5 Hour Energies in there so you can
Actually, no, it's a lot of water, and it's iPod, and it's Eric Church usually, and we can get through the day, or it's a lot of phone conversations with your buddies. It's just something to pass the time. But yeah, it gets pretty dang boring. It really does. But that's just my deal. That's what I do, and I've been super successful at it. And I wish we fished 9 tournaments a year on Kentucky Lake. I'd be fine with that.
That's like American Sniper type patience. Yeah. Just sitting there on the scope for like 12 hours, man. That's crazy, dude. I could never do that. Congratulations, Jason, for being that guy, man.
Well, you had a massive win, Jason. Let's talk about the obvious thing. Something happened in this tournament that nobody in professional sports has ever seen. The guy leading the tournament, you and him got into it at the first stop on the third day. Tell me what happened from your perspective.
Well, to clear the air, we actually didn't get into it. There was no there weren't any crosswords. There was no screaming, cussing, yelling. It was nothing like that. Thursday morning, I was boat 51. My first stop of the tournament was that particular hole, and I ran straight to it, dropped the trolling motor. Nobody saw me catch them. Nobody really even saw me out there. There was a few boats, a handful that went to that side of the lake that drove past me. But in like 30 minutes, I caught 24 pounds the first day, and nobody saw me catch them. So I pulled the trolling motor and I left. So on Friday morning, I blast off and I run straight down there to it, and he's sitting there. So I turned right, head on south, and scratched me out 19 pounds the rest of the day, or whatever I had, 19 and a half pounds. And come Saturday morning, I ran to that hole. And, my Evinrude is obviously faster than his rig. And, there's a lot of different things that could be said about it. If I'd have been in 10th place, 8 pounds back, that's one thing. But, I started on the hole. I was actually the first person to fish the hole in the tournament. I went straight to it Saturday. I was on the trolling motor fishing when he arrived, and he didn't care too much for that. And, everybody can see the live and see what he said. And I mean, it's unfortunate. I mean, I've got absolutely nothing negative to say about Randy. I've known the guy for 20 plus years. It's a bad deal, man. I mean, it's unfortunate. It's part of the game, though. I mean, we've all had tournaments where, we wanted to go fish a spot and somebody was there fishing. I mean, it's just it's the way it goes.
Jason, on day 2, what was the strategy behind not stopping there, even though you saw him there? Were you afraid he might not have known what was living there, or why'd you keep going? Why didn't you stop there?
Dude, I don't pull in on anybody. I ain't never pulled in on anybody. I mean, that's just, I'm not going to do that. It's not the way I do it. I mean, I ain't going to say I've never pulled in on anybody, because I had a situation last year at Dakota, Kentucky, where a guy watched me wreck him in the morning, and I came back 2 hours later and he was there. Now, that's a different story. Yeah, I eased in with him. But, I mean, he was there. It was his, these community holes are community holes for a reason. And, he was there at that point in time. It's his hole, period. And that's the way it should be with any of the guys. I mean, period. If they're there, it's their hole. I mean, if they're not there, it's anybody's hole, because it's, these places get fished 20, 30 times a day, every day, the whole entire late season by, local guys and tournament guys and, weekend guys. They just get fished, and, it's just, I'm not going to pull in on somebody if they're sitting there fishing. It's just that simple.
Well, for those of you that don't know, you all have to know, but Randy Hayes left the tournament after that, after day 3. I would have thought if, you would have been upset, because you were there, you're fishing on day 3, and he pulls right in, and he's fishing right next to you. I never have seen this, except for that one time Jacob Wheeler and somebody else were sharing water. I forget who that was, but they were buddies trying to share the same spot. But he pulled. You guys were boat to boat making the same exact cast. I can't believe you kept your cool. I think I would have gone nuts.
Yeah, it was hard. I mean, it really was. And this is a professional business. This is a professional sport, and we're all professional anglers for the most part. All of us are. But I've got sponsors that help me a lot, and the whole time that deal was going down, that's kind of what went through my head was, I'm a representative of not just myself, but of a lot of other people that are on this boat route, and FLW as well, and the whole organization, and the fishing world as well too. So, it was tough, man. It was real tough. I mean, you wanna scream and yell and cuss and let it all go, but that just wasn't. I mean, there's just too much. We've all got too much to lose to act like that, and I wasn't going to do it. I guess it's the old take the high road type statement, and it was hard. I mean, it was really, really hard.
Yeah,
but
that's bad. That's badass, Jason.
You know what no one talks about? No one's talking about how awkward it must have been for the co-anglers. Because I've been in that I've been in that situation where you're in the back and the two guys up front are arguing with each other, and you're looking at the co-angler like, I could take him if it comes down to it. I think I got this dude, man.
Well, see, I mean, we were 1 and 2 on the live day, so we both had camera guys in the back.
You didn't have co-anglers.
And it was actually kind of funny because those guys know each other. Obviously, they work together at every event all year long. And they were just in the back having a conversation. So, it was interesting. I mean, I think I said that on live actually when Randy decided to pull off the spot and leave. I think my comment was, well, that was interesting, and that's an understatement. But it all worked out in the end, and it's unfortunate. It's terribly unfortunate, and I mean, I don't know why Randy made that decision that he made. That's not for me to speculate on, but I had business to handle,
Jason,
and we handled business, and
when did you know Randy took the boat off the water?
When I came in that afternoon, I checked in pretty early that day.
Yeah,
checked
I guess
in
so,
probably.
dude.
Yeah,
I came in better than this one, right?
1:30, 12 o'clock. I mean, no, probably 1:30 or 2 o'clock that day, and I was informed at that time that he had withdrawn from the event. So, yeah, man, it's just bad. It's a bad deal. I hate it for him. I hate it for.
I've never had it. Jason, how'd it feel to have a live well full where their backs are out of the water? Like
it was Well, it felt good enough that on Saturday I was 130. Wow. And then on Sunday I actually came in a little early and pulled a Timmy Horton, and we ordered some pizza and hung out and signed autographs and took pictures for about 3 hours.
What would we get? Is extra cheese, sausage, pepperoni? What's on the pizza?
Actually, we had a little of both. Jody White from FLW went and picked us up a Supreme and a pepperoni sausage. So we had a little of both. We probably ate way too many calories that afternoon.
Well, hey man, that was amazing. What was your weight on day 4? 28 pounds or
27 and some change, like 27.4, 27.5. I mean, I knew going out that morning I needed like 25.5 or something like that to break that 100 mark. And I got real close in 2016. I think I weighed in 97.2 in 2016 there. And the way practice went, I honestly didn't think there was a chance. I mean, because it wasn't a very good practice at all. But after that 30 sack on Saturday, I knew that there was a chance. And then after I smashed them that morning on Sunday morning, had 25 or so, I knew I needed like one bite, and we got that bite about 10 o'clock, 10:30, and I caught like a 6 3/4 at like 10:30, 10:45, and got rid of a little old baby 4.5, and it was. I knew at that point we had 100, and it was getting rough out there. I actually wanted to stay out and fish because, dude, you got to sit in a freaking hot-ass boat for, 3.5 hours in the sun with no shade. Excuse me. It was, I knew it was going to be a long, boring afternoon, so we actually stayed out about another hour and a half and just did a little scanning, fished a place or two here and there, and finally about 12, it started getting super rough. It was a beautiful Sunday afternoon in the south, and all the boat traffic started coming out. And I just, I wasn't going to take the chance of running anywhere because, everything we operate and run is man-made. You just never know what can happen. But we just decided to put it on the shelf about 12 o'clock.
But like, we're oversimplifying when he says he was shelf fishing. Like, I drew a guy down in Pickwick who knew how to fish shelves and ledges. Guys up this way don't fully understand how intricate it is. That it's not just a matter of like drifting over top of it. Like there's a true art form, and it's probably one of the most misunderstood forms of fishing that we have.
Well, a lot of people are confused by it, but I mean, we got a master here that we're talking to right now, and it was impressive but you came in early and ordered pizza. Weren't you afraid that Scott Martin was going to catch like 70 pounds?
In the bass fishing world, I guess anything could happen, but I felt pretty safe at that point in time that I thought we probably had a 19-3 lead going out, so I had 27 in the box with a 19-3 lead. I was pretty confident that we probably had it done.
Hey Jason, I got a question for you real quick. I don't ledge fish, and a lot of other people that listen probably don't. What would be a bait you would recommend to start with to try to get some confidence in ledge fishing?
I'm a swim bait, crankbait guy. I mean, I throw that big giant C25, 6 cents a lot. I throw that big castaic a lot. I mean, but I'm a power fisherman. I mean, I like to chunk and wind. I think I might be a little bit ADHD or something maybe, but
I'm with you, buddy.
You can catch them out there. Kentucky Lake kind of made the old stroking the jig deal. That got famous for years at Kentucky Lake. A lot of guys fishing the football jig, and big worm. I mean, you can never go wrong with a 10-inch worm on any of the Tennessee River lakes. They'll all catch fish on all of them. But I'm just not the dragon type guy. I mean, I don't know. I just don't feel like you catch the giant bags on those baits either. You can catch a lot of numbers on them and catch a lot of fish on them. And I guess I'm just too wired up to sit out there and drag a jig or drag a worm. I mean, and I say that, and actually on Friday, that's how I ended up catching that 19.8 or whatever it was I weighed in, was dragging a big old Jean LaRue worm. But it just, man, that's like that counting them rocks thing. I just about to see me poke me in the eyeball with something.
It's like throwing a Senko.
Yeah, if you ever catch me throwing a Senko, I want you to come and check my temperature and make sure I'm not sick and having a real bad day or something.
I don't get the Senko hate. I can't take it. Change it.
Well, you know.
Oh, it's a fish catcher, dude. I mean, it probably catches more fish across the country now than about anything else. As far as any one particular bait, I'd say the Cinco is probably the most bites people get across the whole entire country are probably Cinco bites. But, ooh, dude, that's just painful.
Exactly.
What a license to print money. 75 cents a bait.
Right.
They break off.
Yeah.
You got a good deal, man. It's 80 cents most places. But
and you get one fish, maybe two out of it.
Right.
Yeah. Actually, we were at a Costa event on Potomac last year, and I told Yamamoto, he was fishing, I told Gary, I said, Gary, you're a damn genius, man. I mean, you made a bait that people love, and you only get one fish out of it. I mean, what the hell? And he said, well, I'm a businessman.
Yeah, he is.
So I just took it as he knew what he was doing and put enough salt in them so they would tear, and people love them, so they just go buy more.
Yeah, we all think he's trying to make it sink. Meanwhile, right. It's make it buy more. Yeah.
Hey, have you and Randy buried the hatchet? Have you talked since this incident?
No, we haven't. I'll probably see him here in a couple of weeks. I mean, we live in the same town, so it's not like
wow.
We're basically I'm around him a lot. So I moved out in the county a little bit, so we're not actually the same address anymore. But I mean, I'll see Randy. I mean, if not, I'll see him at St. Clair somewhere, and we'll talk. And and I don't think, I personally don't think that Randy has a personal issue with me, and I can assure you that I don't with him. I mean, like I said in the interview the other day, I've known the guy 20 plus years, and he is a freaking awesome ledge fisherman. I mean, he kind of was, I guess, one of the pioneers of the electronics days, and spent a lot of time out there learning his deal, and he's great at it. I mean, I'm not taking anything away from him, and we don't have, yeah, naturally, we've had a couple little spats in the past. We grew up fishing freaking local derbies against each other. I mean, and anybody that you fish against a lot, you're at some point going to have a little spat with. And, but it's always when you come into weigh-ins, hey, dude, I was wrong, or dude, I was wrong, no big deal. And life goes on. And I firmly believe that when I see Randy, we will talk. And I don't think there'll be as for me, I know there won't be any hard feelings, and it's it's just unfortunate. It's a tough situation. It's a tough situation for him to be in. It's a tough situation for me to be in, and it just gets magnified because there's cameras on everything now, and I get that. But I mean, those cameras are great for our sport. They're great for our personal brand, and that's phenomenal.
They're great for this. They're great for this web show.
So, Jason.
Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely.
Jason.
It'd be kind of hard to do a web show without a camera.
So, Jason, are you saying right now that a video isn't going to wind up on World Star Hip Hop of you and him fighting at the 4th of July parade, like in front of the marching band or something?
No, that's not going to happen. I mean, that's not going to happen at all. No way.
All right.
Hey,
leave it to Dave.
Yeah.
There's some people I still want to fight at the 4th of July parade, dude. I can think of, man. After the firehouse gives out the free beer, hell yeah, dude. There's some dudes. At least like
I don't know where wherever your 4th of July party is, where I want to go, because ours don't give out free beer, and I'm all about the free beer.
I hear that.
Jason, more importantly, when you're ledge fishing, do you use like a line conditioner to make those casts go a little bit longer? 'Cause if you don't, I know one. It's a really good product.
Actually, I don't. I just use Sunline Sniper, and I don't have to worry about it.
Oh. You know what?
You
let me pull that dagger right out of the heart. Holy cow! Thanks, Jason. Woo! Got hot in here real quick.
Yeah, but man,
the guy loses $200,000 at the Classic, and
Jason, a scope makes a rifle, and that's all real snot is, man. It's the scope to your line, dude. Come on, you can make it better. You can make it better.
I like it.
I don't shoot that far. I'm pretty good with bore sights.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Well, you know what? Yeah, you're coming in 3 hours early. Now you're just hip shooting shit out of the air. Come on, enough of this guy.
What 4th of July party you gonna be at? 'Cause I'm coming down there.
Hey, we can
ruin
draw
my
a
rap.
circle out. I'm actually in Oklahoma right now, and it's way too hot down here to fight, dude.
Yeah,
So
I'm not
we'll
coming
have to
down.
go somewhere else.
If I come down there, we're drinking beer.
Yeah, we got Hondo here, hip shooting
I
clays
am
out of the
too,
sky.
but it's like 96 degrees or something here, and the humidity is like horrendously terrible. I really feel bad for Ike and those guys that's got to go to Sabine here in a couple of weeks because, dude, it is miserable.
Wow, it's going to be hot down there. So you're doing MLF out there in Oklahoma right now?
Yep, I actually this week's my first week with Major League Fishing, and man, it's been an experience. You know, we fish against some pretty dang good fishermen every week at the tour level, and Ike and those guys on elites do too. But when you take the best of those guys and you put 24 of them on the water, it's you better be freaking catching them because them guys catch them, dude.
Well, you better be careful because if you bump boats, you ram boats with Ish out there, he jumps on boats. You just got to throw some pork rind at him, he'll flare up.
That's a whole different conversation for a whole different show, and I think Poche would like to be a part of that.
Well, Ish is allergic to pork. If you just wing a pork rind at his cheek, he'll swell up and you can get
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not in, dude. I'm way too old for all that fighting stuff. I mean, it's just, it's I always laugh and joke. I'm way more of a lover than I am a fighter, but I'm a pretty big dude, so I mean, if we have to, I guess we have to. But I'm out on all that stuff.
So you got you still got some FLWs left on the schedule. Anything you're looking forward to?
Man, I'm actually I'm going back to Kentucky in 2 weeks. I'm gonna fish that Costa event up there. It's out of Barkley Lake, actually, but it's be about a 20-minute run back over to Kentucky. So yeah, I'm gonna go back and fish that. I'll be home next week, back up there for that, and then we'll have a week or so off, and then we get the northern swing going. I'm actually gonna fish those northern Costas this time as well, just for the fact the championship's on Gunnersville. So. And we got our second Major League Fishings in Vermont in July. So it's a week before one of those Costas. So yeah, after this Kentucky Lake Costa here in 2 weeks, then I'll be up there with all you guys the rest of the year. We got St. Clair. We got Champlain first, which will be the 3rd week of June for a Northern Costa, and then we finish up the tour at St. Clair the last week of June, and then. Of course, that's when it gets crazy. We got 4th of July week home, and then go to ICAST, leave ICAST, drive to Vermont for the second MLF, and leave the MLF at Vermont and drive back over to Buffalo, Lake Erie, and Buffalo end of Lake Erie. So
busy.
Yeah, dude, it's fixing to get real busy for the next.
Gives you a month before your 4th
weeks.
of July showdown, right? Gives you a month to get yourself in shape, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm good. I'm good for that. I mean, if y'all really feel it's necessary, we can make it happen.
FLW is probably not happy. You probably just killed their Costa registration by like 30 boats by saying you're going to be there, dude.
That tournament's going to be very interesting. We're out of Barkley. Like I said, it's about a 20-25 minute run from where we're out at Barkley back over to Kentucky through the canal. But there's also, the reason we're out of Barkley is there's a 300 boat championship out of Kentucky Dam Village that weekend. So it's going to be real crowded, and it's going to be a real tough derby actually with all those boats out there, because that lake. I mean, you heard some of the elite guys talking about it, and you heard a lot of our guys talking about it this past week. I mean, that lake has been for the last 5, 6, 8 years, 10 years, it has been the best tournament fishing lake in the United States without question, just because of its, just the size of it. It's so big, people could spread out. You could fish different patterns, a lot of different things you could do, but this Asian carp situation up there is terrible, dude. I mean, it's as bad as anything that I've ever seen anywhere, and I honestly think that the population of bass in that lake are at least 50% less than they were even 2 years ago, 3 years ago. Wow. So the numbers aren't there. The schools of fish that usually are there aren't there. I mean, it's just in a real bad downward spiral right now. And, we're trying to raise some awareness on that situation and get some people involved that can make some decisions that are far higher than me. But we just need some attention paid to that, because it really is, man. It's a bad situation, and that lake is it's looking pretty bleak for the next few years.
Yeah, well, we heard all you guys talk about it, and then bringing awareness to it is key, and hopefully we can get those commercial fishermen activated with some incentives to get out there and get after those carp and help the situation out. We'd sure like to see that. Kentucky Lake is awesome. As tough as it was, you made it look easy. Congratulations on a massive, massive win, man. And, we look forward to following you the rest of the year. People that want to follow you, you on social media, how can people keep up with you?
Yeah, I'm Facebook and Instagram and website are all three Jason Lambert Fishing. So it's jasonlambertfishing.com website, Instagram, Facebook, both just Jason Lambert Fishing. So yeah, keep up with me, man. We're gonna see what we can finish out here. Pretty good shape for the Cup in August. So we got the Coastas. I'm trying to get qualified for that championship, like I said. I'm gonna be plenty busy, so y'all follow along, see what's going on.
Will do, man.
Well, I may see you at some of those northern coastas. I'm not going anywhere near that Kentucky Lake tournament. But good luck to you the rest of the season. I appreciate you putting up with us and being with us tonight, Jason. I really do. Good luck the rest of the season.
Hey, guys, I appreciate it. Anytime, give me a call.
Shoulders up, chin down, 4th of July.
That was awesome. That was awesome to hear him talk about the ledge pattern, go through that whole process. I mean, it's so. I mean, if you ever fish a tournament, you've been in that situation where somebody's pulled in on you, or you've pulled in on them, and it's just a term we use, pulled in on. But who's right, who's wrong? The thing that I've always learned is there's always two sides to a story. And just so everybody knows, we reached out to try to get Hayes on this show so that we could hear his perspective on what happened. How did that go, Brian?
I personally didn't reach out to Randy, but I spoke with Mark Jeffries, who spoke with Randy at length, and coming on and talking to he wasn't interested.
Yeah, I talked to him. He said that show sucks. I ain't going on that stupid show.
But
was that too high?
Yeah.
Pete jumped.
My eardrums out, man.
Pete jumped. I'm sorry. I'm no more Mark Jeffries. I was told.
Yeah. Well, but nonetheless, I appreciate him going through it. But I mean, I've been there a million times, man. You see somebody and you're like, I can't believe that guy is doing what he's doing, but in his mind, he's looking at you thinking, man, that's my area. You're the one at fault. But communication is key.
I'd like to reiterate my the way I look at Randy's move. I know a lot of people on social media had a lot of negative things to say about him, and that's cool, whatever. To me, I was impressed with the fact he had enough presence of mind to know he could no longer be there, right? Like, Randy was not comfortable in that situation and was about to lose his cool. And he had enough presence of mind to know his spot and say, all right, if you stay here, you're going to lose your freaking cool. You're going to make a scene on the camera. He couldn't do it. And he had
saving it for 4th of July.
He had the awareness to put it on the trailer and leave. I thought that was kind of cool. You know what I mean? Not something I could have done, or maybe Pete. Definitely not Mike. But
nobody. Well, not everybody can redline and then continue to compete.
Yeah.
Mike can. Mike redlines because the coffee's too cold.
That's a fact, Mike.
And he's right back to normal.
By the way, Mike hit me up. He's got a 4 a.m. wake-up call. He wants to get on immediately.
Bring it.
So let's take a quick commercial break, go right back to him.
Okay.
All right, we're going to hit the commercial.
All right, we'll be back real quick. Ike's on the line. I'm interested to see what he has to say on this topic. We'll be right back.
Okay, what do you say? Hey, Noah Wheeler here with Real Snot. Been out on this pond for about an hour now. Haven't had a whole lot of luck. We've had a couple blow-ups, but not getting a lot. So we thought we would try the new Java product on this frog on the top water. It works great on jigs and other plastics, but we've noticed that when we do use it on top water, we get a trail in the water, the scent's in the water, and we're getting a lot more bites. So we're gonna spray some Java all over the frog. Apply from Real Snot to the braid, get it nice and wet, and then as I reel it in, it's gonna work its way through it. Okay, so now we got that scent in the water, and then we got the frog all juiced up with some Real Snot Java. Let's see what happens here. There's one.
So as you can see, that scent got around in this little area, this little pocket we're fishing, and sure enough, one came up and nailed it. Small one, albeit, but hadn't caught anything since we've been here for about an hour and 10 minutes now. There's one. That's a good one too. That's a good one. Much better. Good little guy. Threw my frog. Man, they love this stuff. Right through the nose.
This time of year, I definitely recommend putting a little bit of this on your soft plastics too. There he is. Another one. Next cast. And that would be number 6. I'm addicted. I'll admit it. I'm straight addicted.
Might be bigger.
You think so?
Yeah. Feels big. I haven't even seen this thing yet. It doesn't want to come up. Don't break me off the rocks.
Oh, it's a...
Oh! 27 incher.
He caught it.
28.
Oh my god, that's such a healthy fish. Look at this size. Put a little liquid mayhem on your crappie jig, and look where the stripers get it.
You can't even see it, man.
That might be a keeper.
Four and a half inch drop shot worm, Bama bug. Finesse jig, PB&J, give me something hard. Hey, KVD here. Now, I didn't always know this much about fishing. 4-aught EWG worm hook. In fact, there was a time when I couldn't tell the difference between a jerkbait and a stickbait. But then I signed up for Mystery Tackle Box, the original monthly tackle subscription. And now I know more about fishing than I do about calculus.
And he knows a lot about calculus.
Plus, I get amazing extras like free fishing magazines. October 2016. Featured article, 4 places to throw a frog. Exclusive decals. Zombie bass. And how-to videos for all the great baits I receive. How to tune a crankbait. Is that underwater footage I smell?
I got goosebumps.
So if you're looking to develop enhanced fishing abilities like me, or you just like getting new tackle every month, go to mysterytacklebox.com and get your box today. Ooh, live minnows. Is it lunchtime already? Nature's candy. Oh. Is he in my pocket?
No, that's not JK. Hey, welcome back to Ike Live, everybody. Just great conversation with Jason Lambert about Kentucky Lake. Do we have some more contest entries?
The contest is still going on and people are still going at it. Okay, so this is the guy from earlier that had the Liquid Mayhem Kentucky Lake Asian Carp comment. This is his second entry, so he's definitely got to be a winner at this point. But he says, the thieves shall be haunted by Brian's ghost as punishment for all eternity. So I think I'm giving him a prize because he also had the Kentucky Lake one. That was solid. I got to scroll down a little bit here.
I like the problem is they probably are riding with Brian's ghost. You know what I mean, dude?
Whatever, dude.
Maybe like Brian's cousin. Ghost.
Whatever.
Make them drink a case of warm natural light with Brian's toenails in each can.
Wait, come back again?
Make them drink a case of warm natural light with Brian's toenails in each can.
Oh, that's somebody that knows us.
That's someone that knows us.
It's gotta be.
That's John McGraw.
Could be.
Inside. Keep going.
We got real quiet real quick.
We don't know Brian's toenails.
We were all like, ooh.
I'm trying to explain the joke, what happened, but
better off.
The two
Keep rolling.
thieves, the
Keep
two
rolling,
thieves should have to go through and visit the jail by Eric Lewinsky in the blue dress. Thanks for that one,
obviously
Brad.
all our hammers checked out.
Brad S. Thank you. Thank you for that. But no, Joey, you are definitely our third winner of the night. But keep sending them in, guys.
Third.
Yeah.
No. There's 5 shirts to give away.
Yeah, I know. So, and we're at 3 winners.
Who are the winners then,
Don't
Eric?
snap at me.
I didn't even know we did that yet.
He's just making stuff up.
No,
we got him.
Meth pipe.
Meth pipe?
Yeah, meth pipe.
Ice. The ice melt one, right?
Ice?
Melt them with the
Let me
ice.
see. Let me see who else.
Who else?
Brian in the biffle shorts and the strippers.
Yeah.
I thought there were 5 by now, but
I thought we had 5.
No,
there
we
was the
didn't- we
Weinstein and Cosby, which was
No, we
pretty
didn't.
strong.
I've read out a bunch.
Again,
We
I'm
didn't-
sorry, Eric.
We didn't establish that 5 of them were winners. No, we didn't.
I told you just make the play.
All right.
All right.
Executive decision.
And then
E, come on.
As long as meth
Just
pipe,
do it, bro.
ice
Yeah,
melt,
the-
and Weinstein and Cosby are in there, I'm all right, dude.
Okay, that's what I deal with. Folks.
All right, what's our next play, BTC? Is Ike ready?
I think so.
We gonna unbox? We gonna talk to Ike?
I think it's about to happen. Oh, look at that shirt! Oh
No, he's not.
There he is.
Oh, look at that.
Ruh-roh.
Mike Iaconelli. How are you, man? He's frozen.
That looks like Magic Cat.
Remember that?
Well,
Flower power.
Is that Magic Hat, Mike?
Power.
Flower Power, where you getting that? You getting that up in NYC?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, we got you, man.
Okay, how's everybody doing tonight?
Doing great.
We are good, man. We had some tuna, some flank steak, and some grilled asparagus on the Traeger.
Traeger grill, how'd it come out? Tasting good?
It was awesome, dude. Yeah, we should
Nice.
be here, man.
Nice. Real snot homies, how you doing?
I'm doing well. How you doing, Mike?
Good to see you, Noah. Heard you talking earlier. Good stuff, man.
Thanks for having us. Awesome.
He just took a beating from Jason Lambert, but he's recovering.
Man. I twisted an ankle one time playing basketball. It didn't hurt that bad.
What are you doing, man? Where in the world is Mike Iaconelli right now?
Yeah, well, I'm in New York City. Man, it's what a cool place. You know, I only get up here probably half a dozen or less times a year, and it's every time you come to New York, it's amazing. It's mind blowing how big this city is, how many people are here, the noise, the traffic, the hustle, the bustle. I mean, you know, Philadelphia is a small fraction of what New York City is. It's an amazing city. So I'm up here filming a new project that I've been working on, and I'm getting to fish in the city here, which is unreal. And you know, without giving away too much, today was my first day on the water. I fished the Hudson River, literally within sight of iconic New York landmarks: Statue of Liberty, Ellis Island, Verrazano Bridge, Manhattan. All that stuff was within eyesight of where I fished today, and caught some pretty amazing fish. You know, it's funny because how many people live and work and commute in the city, and I'm talking about by car, by train, by bus, by water taxi, and it's the same story. It's so many of these people don't realize what swims right below them, and pretty amazing city. So I have another full week here of fishing experiences, everything from freshwater to saltwater, and I'm stoked. Here's the cool thing: right before I got here, I was in South Dakota. I was on a lake called Lake Oahe doing just 2 days of scout work for an event that I've never been. Lake Oahe is the 4th largest reservoir in the United States. Comes in at a hair under 400,000 acres. Dude, think about that. Dave Brodzik, think about 400,000 acres. That's like triple the size of Santee Cooper.
Yeah,
that's insane,
I
man.
had no idea, so I was trying to figure that out. Wow.
Give you an idea of how big this lake was. I ran the first day. I pretty much never stopped running. I ran the outboard continually because I wanted to try to get a good look at the lake. And an hour in, I haven't even covered a quarter, not even a fraction, not even an eighth of the lake. An hour of straight running, and I haven't even covered an eighth of the lake. It's unbelievable. And the neat thing about this lake is that there is zero development on the lake. There are no homes on the lake. There are no docks. There are no marinas. There's nothing but rolling hills. There's not even any trees on the hills. It's just these luscious green grass, slow rolling hills, black dirt, black sand. It's unbelievable.
What state? Mike, what state was that?
South Dakota.
I don't even ever looked at South Dakota on the map, dude.
Nope.
Wow.
It's unbelievable. And so I had 2 days. I did a lot of scouting, covered a lot of water, found some really cool stuff underwater. Laid some waypoints, and in 2 full days, I only fished for 15 minutes. And I told Brian the carpenter this story. I pulled into a cove because I was kind of brain dead. I pulled into a cove, and I only had one rod and one bait that I brought with me. I didn't hardly bring anything because I knew I wouldn't fish. And I pulled in this cove just to kind of rest. And I pulled in, I shut off the outboard and kind of just drifted in to the back of this cove. And I stood up on the front deck and looked around, and it looked like an aquarium. I saw pike and walleye and bluegill and carp and hundreds of smallmouth bass swimming all around me.
Dude.
I'm like freaking out. I'm looking around. I'm like, oh my God, what? I'm like, so I got the rod out, had literally one rod. I got the rod out, and I had a jerk bait tied on. I threw the jerk bait out there. I caught a 3-pounder on my first cast. On my second cast, I caught a 3.5-pounder. On my third cast, I hooked a 4-pounder. I had him on 5 cranks, and he came off. And I go, oh crap! I look down. That same fish turned back around and ate the bait. I have it on all the way to the boat. He jumped twice, and I'm just about to lip him, and he comes off. And I go, oh! And as soon as he comes off, he looks up and eats my jerkbait again.
Oh. Come on.
I'm not kidding you. For anybody watching that doubts whether this is going to be a blowout tournament, this is going to be a blowout tournament. The best analogy I can give you guys, and no, I don't know if you remember the lake in its heyday, but I know Pete does, and I know Dave and Brian the Carpenter will remember this. Lake Champlain in the late 80s, early 90s, was one of the most unbelievable lakes in the world. And some of our early top rod trips to Lake Champlain, we would have 100 fish days. And that's not an exaggeration.
Yeah,
we would
until
have
Bassmaster scorched it.
Yeah, we'd have experiences like that where you'd have a smallmouth hooked, another one would eat it as you were reeling it in. There were fish at Lake Champlain in the late 80s that were never fished for before. They have never seen a bait. Lake Champlain's not like that now, but Lake Oahe is one of these rare gems. There are smallmouth swimming in this lake, and a lot of them that have never seen a lure before have been caught before. This is going to be a really special event, really special.
What? I mean, is there never tournaments been held there before?
There have been very few. I do a lot of research. It's part of my MO on a new body of water, and I think I found like 3 in the last 5 years. So there's very little fishing pressure. Most of the people that have fished Lake Oahe in the last, say, 10 or 15 years have targeted walleye, and that's the premier species there. Number 2 in line would probably be pike, and I'll be honest with you, smallmouth bass in South Dakota are a nuisance fish.
Yep.
People don't fish for them. People rarely fish shallower than 30 or 40 feet there. So you've got an entire group and population of fish in smallmouth and largemouth bass that are just not fished for at all.
Wow, do you have any idea? Like, is it got massive weight, like 20-pound bags in the tournaments that you've researched?
The last one that I saw was last year. They had a federation qualifier there, and the top 10 guys all had over 18 pounds. And this was in a summertime event, so the time when it should be a little tougher. So, this is one that potentially a guy could catch 100 pounds of smallmouth in 4 days, and that's very, very rare in the FLW or elite or any professional trail. It's very rare. It's got a good possibility of happening here. Really does.
It's gonna be a massive amount of culling because they're all cookie cutter fish, and you're just culling ounces all day.
Yeah.
Going to be a lot of culling.
I
Going
just
to be a
heard
lot of culling.
I just heard a bunch of diesel trucks fire up.
Hell
'cause
yeah.
they're just heading that way. Like, are you serious?
Right? We
Hook
got
the boat up. Let's go.
We all need to go before the elite
Yeah.
guys bring it to the world and it gets all ruined.
Yeah.
We need to go.
Well, that's the gift and the curse. Like Lake Champlain, like Lake Mille Lacs more recently. You know, it's hard to say this because I'm a participant in it, but you know, we expose a place, and through the internet and TV and social media and videos, we eventually destroy a place. And we've seen it happen to so many Great Lakes we fished. They all come back around, but I'm suspecting this will happen to Lake Oahe. We'll fish there. It'll be good for the next year or two, maybe. It'll get tons of fishing pressure. People will come from all over the country. A lot of people will keep fish. A lot of people will get fish mounted. A lot of people will kill fish, maybe inadvertently. It'll go through a decline, and eventually it'll get back. But God, what a gem!
You just
what
described.
I can't wait for this one.
Mike, you just described every lake Eric the intern fishes, dude. You show him a spot. Thank you.
No, that's true.
Accurate.
Accurate. There's a lake quicker than Bass Elites do.
I'll take that as a compliment.
Napalm.
Yeah.
Thanos.
By the way, let me change subject real quick. And by the way, I've been watching the show tonight, and I want to say great job, Brian, Eric, Pete, Dave. Great job, man. Tonight I watched most of the show, and the segment with Jason was awesome. Was insightful. I listened to it, and I got to tell you, he's a better man than me.
Right.
Some of the stuff that went down, and I hope he's still watching. Congratulations if you're still watching. Great event, great tournament, great win. But you're a better man than me. I couldn't do it, man. It's not in my DNA to be either one of those guys. To sit and take it, or to turn around and pull off the trailer. Either one of those situations, I couldn't do it. I'm very confrontational. You know, I do what I think is the right thing. I wouldn't have been able to keep it together if I was either one of those guys. But I would have stayed and fished hard. So God bless both of them. Better men than me.
How would you have handled that situation?
Well, you know, I mean, from what I heard from Jason, he sounded like he was in the right, you know, and Randy, to a certain extent, I think, was also in the right. And so, you know, I mean, I think, you know, you have to both work together. I think technically they both had claims to that spot. It was a community hole from what it sounds like anyway. So you got to figure out a way to make it work. It's hard to show up on a spot and be boat to boat with somebody and see the other guy catching all the fish. I've been there. That's the hardest thing in the world. And sometimes you just got to leave and go do something else instead of sitting there and taking that misery. And I've done that before. But, you know, it's tough. On a ledge like Kentucky, when they get on so many small spots, it's almost nature of those events now that you're going to encounter that. And, you know, learning how to deal with that is part of the strategy, you know. Whether you want to admit it or not, Pete, we talked about this a lot, but that, you know, intimidation or, you know, small talk or, you know, little jabs or all that is all part of a winning strategy or a losing strategy. So, you know, it's part of the game we play. I've never quite seen it played that way, but it's part of the game we play.
I can't imagine having somebody pull in on me, get boat to boat, and make the same cast that I'm making.
Right.
I mean, I've fished almost 200 tournaments, 175 tournaments. I think I've fished, and I've never. I would lose my mind. I mean, and I'm cool headed, but I wouldn't. You know, I mean, I don't know. I don't know how I would handle it, but I don't think I would have handled it that way that either one of those two handled it, you know. But I think I would have. I think I would have had the red line.
I watched the Bassmasters because I watched all those old ones, and it was like 14 or 13, and it was Todd Fairclough and somebody else, and they were nose to nose, and they were both drop shot, and I think it was, and the one guy was just catching them, and Todd was just looking at it like, I'm right there, and I can't buy a fish like and the guy was catching them, and it's got to be brutal.
Yeah. It's like self-preservation. You got to get the hell out of there. You can't sit there and take that and watch your day evaporate while that's going on. Yeah, it's a hard situation, and I know there's two sides to the story. And you're right. Well said, Mike. That they both had a right to that spot.
I think they did. I think they both had a right to that spot. And here's the other thing that wasn't really talked about. It's obvious to guys that follow the career of these guys, but Randy and Jason are both the absolute best ledge fishermen alive right now. I'd put Mark Rose up there. I'd put a couple of the elite guys up there. Kevin Van Dam would be in that list. I mean, there's Fritz, but Jason and Randy are two of the best ledge fishermen alive, and they know Kentucky Lake better than anybody else alive as well. So for both of those guys, a move or an adjustment is not a big deal. And Jason did move later. So, to me, I mean, one of those guys at some point just has to say, man, I got to get the heck out of here. And there are other places like that on that lake. So you just go find another spot.
Yeah. And you plan for day 4. Like maybe I'll get the better boat draw and get there on day 4 or whatever it may be.
Right, or go down in the south part of Kentucky Lake and go hole jump Scott Martin.
Right.
That's what I would do.
And Mike, to your point, I mean, I would have thought that maybe Randy knew some other spots that he could just go to, but I guess he was just so fed up at that point. He was like, I'm gone.
Yeah, and Brian and I talked a little bit about it off camera. You do get to that point mentally where it's almost like, you're and again, I don't want to put words in anyone's mouth, but I mean, if it was at that point where, look, I'm getting out of this boat and getting in a fight, or I need to just cool off and put it on the trailer, maybe it was a good move, because, you saw, fights on the physical altercations on the water at this point in the sport when there's so much live going on right now. It'd just be a bad thing, so.
Again, make it on ESPN?
I don't fault anybody, but I think it's an interesting way to handle the situation. It wasn't the way I would have handled it.
Hey, I was supposed to say one more thing. It is the only thing in the entire world that got me to pay attention to another mother-loving ledge tournament on freaking Kentucky freaking Lake. I could give a shit about Kentucky Lake and their ledge fishing post-spawn tournaments at this point.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Had to get that off his chest.
It's just get over it already.
Hey, well, it was fascinating.
Woo. That's exactly what I said.
Yeah.
Hey, Mike, change the subject. You got something else?
No, go ahead.
Hey, congratulations on that upper Susquehanna shoot you did with Shyrock, man. That was awesome, dude.
Thank you. You like it, Dave?
Yeah. What I really like is you've known him for 5 years, right? You've known us for like 30. We get to go to Eric's mud holes that he stomps all over all week long. You take a Shyrock to the smallmouth capital of the world. How's that all work out? I'm just wondering the math. That's all.
Let me tell you, I as far as the upper Susquehanna River, it's almost in our backyard, and it's a shame for me. It was the first time in my life, so 45 years walking the face of the earth, it's the first time that I had an opportunity to fish up there. And it is, they call it the smallmouth capital of the world, and I would have to agree with that when it comes to numbers of fish and pure fun. We started filming that day. When we finally made our first cast, I think it was about 8 a.m. Rain finally came through and storms, and we decided to call it early. We ceased fishing at 1:30. So from 8 a.m. to 1:30 p.m., we caught over 130 smallmouths in one boat.
Wow.
That's incredible. It's incredible.
There's
it's
another place
for sheer numbers of fish. It's probably the most incredible smallmouth fishery I've ever fished in my life.
Not helping.
Thanks again, Mike.
Yeah, but here's the good news, Dave. You got a Hobie kayak now.
Yeah.
It's a 2-hour drive from your driveway. Probably less. You're a little closer to Harrisburg than that. It's probably an hour and 50-minute drive from your driveway. Dave, get up there.
Dude,
it's perfect for kayak fishing.
So I think when I was watching the video, were you anywhere near was there like a Jesus? I'm not joking. Don't laugh. Was there like a Jesus statue on a rock, or a cross out in the middle, like on the way up to Penn State?
That's Brazil.
No, on the way up to Penn State, you cross this one bridge. I forget what road it is, but anyone that's traveled Penn State from our area will know they have like this rock in the middle of Susquehanna. It's got like religious stuff all over it. Were you anywhere near that, dude?
I don't remember that, but I'll let everybody know exactly where we're at. We were fishing just south of where the Susquehanna and the Juniata River meet.
Okay.
So geographically, if anybody's watching, they want to know. And there are a few ramp opportunities there, and gosh, it's so good. And you got to remember that we were there in December. The water's low and cold, so we had a fish in the barrel situation. Where the fish are kind of stacking up. But in the spring, right now, is when they catch the really big fish, the 4 and 5 pounders. And gosh, you can catch them so many different ways. Our best tools that day were a Ned rig, a small swim bait, and then the bigger fish came on a suspending jerk bait. But right as we were getting ready to leave, I'd say the last 30 minutes of fishing, 40 minutes of fishing, and this wasn't even on film. It was just, we were kind of just didn't want to quit. We were so pumped up with what was going on. I pulled out a micro jig and absolutely started killing them on a micro jig and getting better quality bites, not hanging up as much. It's a bait you're going to hear a lot more about in the next couple of years. In Japan, a micro jig is such a huge tool and a big trend right now. And like everything, it takes a couple of years to pick up here. But you're going to hear more and more about this micro jig in the future. And as coincidence would have it, I'm designing one with John Cruz and Missile Baits as we speak.
It's funny you say John Cruz, because I figured next year's Ike Live, you'll take him to Lake of the Woods and you'll bring us out back in the Ike Woods.
I wouldn't do that to you. We actually will film another Ike Live Going Ike next year, and we'll let somebody else besides Eric pick the lakes this time.
Actually, we just don't tell Eric where we're going until that morning.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Dude, you mentioned the kayak. I've been killing it on the kayak. I made 2 videos. Eric's done nothing with them yet. I shot a hilarious Real Stock commercial. Eric lost it. He deleted it, actually. You know what I mean?
Come on, Eric.
I had a good one, dude. You guys would have loved it, man.
No, I know we're busting Eric's balls a lot, as we always do. But I got to tell you, Eric, good job. I've seen some videos you put together lately that are really good. Stormtrooper video, hook coming out of Brian's finger. It's some funny stuff, man. Good job.
They make it all happen. I just do the edits. It's all it's them being ridiculous.
Well, so you're going to wrap up filming here in a couple days. If I could give you some words of wisdom, a square bill on the Statue of Liberty riprap, big smallmouth.
Wow, really?
Yeah, it's true.
Okay, try that.
It's all
I didn't know. There's a lot of, it's interesting that since 9/11, there's a lot of security now in places you could fish before 9/11. You've got barriers to fish there now. So a lot of the bridges directly around the base of Statue of Liberty, stuff like that, you can't necessarily fish right on top of it anymore. But it's still neat catching a big old striper with, the Statue of Liberty behind it. It's a very, very cool feeling,
Flip them on the dock, bum, right next to where you flip them, right?
The zombies.
Yeah.
The zombies. Yeah. Oh, so I'm here for 8 more days, and then when I leave here, I'll fly back to Houston, Texas. I'll pick up my truck and boat, and I'll go fish the Orange, Texas, which is a rescheduled event. And up until about a week or so ago, I didn't think I was even going to get to fish it. I finally got this thing I'm at now pushed up a week, and so like to make the announcement for the first time here on Ike Live. We do a lot of first-time announcements. I will be fishing the bass event in Orange, Texas next week. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.
Any good craft beer in Texas, Mike?
There's a lot of good craft beer in Texas. Yeah, I can't think of any off the top of my head, but
the greatest thing that ever came out of Texas, Tito's.
Tito's is really good. We love Tito's.
Craft beer.
Yeah.
Trey Zaldane, Chris Zaldane's wife, is a huge craft beer head, and she's got a good list of amazing Texas craft beers. So
I don't think I've ever heard of one, dude. When you think about it.
There's some good ones. I can't think of any off the top of my head. There's some really, really good ones.
Yeah, I'm sure there is. I'm just wondering.
Yeah.
Well, it's going to be hot. From what Jason said, it's going to be sweltering hot down there. I hopefully, I guess the water's down. You know, we had heard that, so you guys ought to be able to have a good derby, catch a few fish.
It's going to be a good one. They lowered the size limit across the board now for largemouth to 12 inches. That's going to help. There are going to be a lot of limits caught. It's going to be very similar to the last event at Lake Travis. You're going to have one or two of those big fish each day to make the difference. You know, You're going to see a lot of 6 to 8 pound limits caught. Catching a 4 or 5 pounder makes that 8 pound limit a 10 pound limit. Catch 2, it makes it a 12 pound limit. You know, so it's going to be about a big fish. It's going to be crowded. We're restricted to Texas waters, which is really, really interesting and strange. But you know, so it's going to be crowded. But man, I like that. You know, I like that it's a tidal river. I like that it's going to fish small. It's going to be crowded. It's going to remind me of fishing in Jersey. You know, it's going to be like a Lake Hopatcong Federation tournament from back in the day.
Mike, what kind of tide swing goes on there, dude?
Really small, Dave. Not like the Delaware. More akin to the Upper Bay. Probably a 2-foot tidal swing, if that. So really small tide. A lot of marsh. A lot more like tidal marsh fishing than that industrial stuff that we see up here in the Delaware. So it's going to be cool though. I mean. And I can't get any info. Of course, I want to preface that, but I can tell you info. And a tidal bass in the summertime is a tidal bass in the summertime. And I know what a tidal bass in the summer do. I know what they want. I know what they need to live. So, that's half the battle. I'll know the right places to look.
Well, good luck to you down there.
Yeah, man.
Before you go, do you want to enter the contest to name the punishment for the guys that stole all the real snot stuff down at the Classic?
Oh, we're doing a contest to name the punishment. I would like to have. Were they both males?
Husband and wife.
Okay, I would like the male would like his testicles cut off, and I would like the female. I would like her clitoris burned off.
Ah, man.
Yeah. Dang it, Michael.
Great to
You took words out of everybody's mouth. We tried to make it clean and say it can't be harsh and unhuman punishment.
Oh,
like,
that's
no,
burn.
We love it.
People cut their balls off every day. It's no big deal.
Mike, you're about to be the first guest ever banned from Mike Live.
Wow.
I don't think that's too harsh.
I thought real snot enema was a little too much, and then there you go with that, dude.
Oh, man, I love
it. You know what? I should send him like a case of real snot every year because he's going to need it. One of these guys. Trust me.
Who, Mike?
No, not Mike. Mike gets anything. He gets as much as he wants. I'm talking about the dude that's going to jail.
Oh, man, dude.
My goodness.
That's there's a new version of real snot coming out. It's called jail snot.
He's field testing.
Jail snot.
He's field testing it for us.
Lube knot.
Mike, one of the viewers suggested that we make them clean all the meth pipes in Greenville, South Carolina with real snot.
That's funny.
That's what I thought.
Great. Another one said they should be locked in a cell with Harvey Weinstein and Bill Cosby.
Covered in real snot.
Covered in real snot.
And a bottle of real snot.
And a bottle of real
Wow. And then, they should be the meat between that sandwich.
Sit down at 6:30 for an Ike Live that starts at 7.
It doesn't start at 7.
Hey man, we were grilling. We were trying to get the grill.
Yeah, man, you missed it, dude.
We're going to chilling with the Traeger grill.
When do you come home, dude?
Never.
So I'm going to get home. It's been crazy. I mean, it's been a crazy year with filming and a lot of the extra stuff. It's been crazy, but the good news is I get home after Orange. I'll finally get home, and I'll be home for a few weeks in June before I head back out to the next event, which is on the Mississippi River. The other good news is that once I go to the next event, the kids will be out of school. Becky will be traveling with me again, towing the fifth wheel. I've been by myself, you know, all this time tournament fishing, and there's something to be said about fishing like that, but it also gets lonely, you know. So
need some real snot.
It'll be nice. Yeah.
And some liquid mayhem for the scent.
I've already got a bottle of that for that situation, but it's gonna be nice having.
Can I have a better endorsement than that?
Hey, Real Snot's multi-purpose. A lot of stuff. Having Becky and the kids back on the road, being back in the fifth wheel, you know, it's your own home. You know, it's your own house. So it's going to be great. And you know, I honestly, I'm not having a great year in the elites, but I'm still right there. I'm in, you know, I'm like 20 points out of the classic right now, 20 spots out of the classic. So I'm right there. I feel like if I can get through this next tournament, you know, the last half of the year really turns into more smallmouth, more events that are sort of my style. And I really am going to work hard to have revenge on the Upper Bay this year. You know, I was so disappointed. It still sticks in my mind, the flop that I had there last time we were there. And that to me is a home fishery as much as the Delaware is. And I want to go there and have a chance to win this year. I want to be in contention on the last day at the Upper Bay. So, you know, I think there's some good stuff for me coming up tournament-wise. I'm excited about it.
So, Mike, what do you think this year Mercer will do to try to one-up Pete out there? Like last year, he was in the water pulling Black Death up off the ground to show us what that grass was. What do you think he'll do this year to try to upstage Pete?
I don't know, man. He might say, "I'm Dave Mercer, bitches."
Son of a bitch.
He would not dare.
Pete, listen, you might want to, Pete. You might want to talk to Jay Spiegel as quick as you can. Trademark that.
I'm going to trademark it. I'm getting a rider on it. I'm doing something.
A rider.
You can't steal that bitch.
You have to. You better earn it.
I forgot about the rider.
Man, that's funny. Well, I'm going to reach out to Bass, see if they want me to get involved this year. I'd like to participate again. And
Mercer's going to be underwater with a snorkel, like. Sorry.
Well, we'll see how it goes. Today, James Riley had a 25-pound bag down there on the Upper Bay.
On a Senko.
Impressive.
Yeah.
I mean, the Upper Bay is, you know, it's. We all know it's one of the best tidal fisheries on the East Coast. You know, it's nice this year that the tournament is going to be, I think Pete, it's like 2 or 3 weeks earlier than it was last year, which is going to help.
And it's late because of the weird spring, so it ought to be good.
It's been a weird spring, yes.
I'm taking the Hobie out into the bowl on Saturday, dude, or Sunday. I'm sorry, I'm going out there on Sunday when the rain. Nobody's going to be out there.
That's awesome. You should. If you have the right day, if it's calm, dude, it'd be a blast fishing out there in a kayak, man. It would be a blast.
Well, we know you got a 4 o'clock wake up call, so we're going to let you roll. You know, if anybody wants to follow you, they all know how to do it. Watch the freaking Ike Live show.
Watch Ike Live. Watch Bash U Live. That's the way to follow me.
There it is. Well, have fun, man, and
send us your address. I'll get you a hat, Mike.
All right. Are you actually going to send it though, or no?
Probably not.
Don't get your hopes up.
We think your entry into the contest is getting denied for too vulgar. Hey,
Poor Kay.
Hey, have fun out there catching them stripers, man. Look forward to seeing that shoot. I look forward to the announcement that you're going to announce at some future announcement.
Yes, and I got to tell you, the announcement that I made, talking about the announcement early on, is really close. Any day now.
Any day now. All right, brother.
Yeah, dude.
Good luck. Be safe.
Maybe you can
See
take
you guys.
Maybe you can
Have
take a
fun,
sip
Mike.
of that Ithaca. It's been sitting there all night. You didn't drink it yet.
This one's empty, bro.
Oh man, stage prop. Stage prop.
I got one more left. I'm going to open it up right now.
Good job, buddy.
See you guys.
All right.
Good night.
Good night, buddy.
Safe.
So thanks to Mike, I got to get a new warning label put on Real Snot.
not
Do not use this in these situations.
Travel
no
situations.
prison use.
Right.
Man, I think that's a good combination. Real Snot, you get the Liquid Mayhem for that trailer park
Oh,
scent.
my
and-
God. Brian, we got to end this show
Shad
before
smell.
another beer goes in, everybody.
We got one phone call.
One phone call. Let's bring it.
Open up that MTB box.
MTB
This
unboxing.
MTB box right here.
Yeah, we also have
I'm
to show a
opening it up.
video, don't we?
We'll get that.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I thought we ran the show over there.
Saving it
Was
for
Open up
that-
the MTB box while I produce.
What? Try to open this
I
box.
said, you open up that
Pete's
box,
fumbling through the box. Go ahead.
and I produce.
All right, well, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, my gosh. I see the video that's about to go. Are we going to open this box or are we going to watch the video?
Let's do the unboxing first. Let's get that done.
All right.
First time all night you look
That
at
box is thick.
the cube.
A pencil. See, this is an awesome pencil popper. I got this in my box. It's an IMA pencil popper. It's the perfect size for bass.
Let me see. Is that the rainbow one?
It's rainbow trout.
Yeah.
Looking dude. It's killer. IMA makes some good stuff.
Send that thing back here so I can put it in my backpack.
Don't forget, what's
So-
the deal on Mystery Tackle Box? They got the new premium Mystery Tackle
wait.
Box. It's a $60 value for $39.90, and you can get 50% off all boxes and 30% off the premium.
Yeah, 30 off the premium, 50 off the black ones, 30 off
It's
the
called the
premium
Elite.
ones. Man, so I'm looking right here. I got a
Ike Live code.
I got a black Z-Man chatterbait. That's coming home with me. Let's see. Ooh, we got a dude Stanley, right? No, we don't talk about Stanley enough. Everybody got started. Is this damn Stanley? It's damn goddamn Stanley.
Stanley's out of business.
Hold
dude.
on, dude. I'm looking at that.
No, I don't think they're.
I saw standing and I can't see because the dude earlier said we can't see stuff. Standing looked like Stanley to me, dude. Sorry about that. This is a short hookup. I don't know nothing about
So
that.
we're
dude.
just at the point now.
Shout out to Stanley.
We're just at the point we're making
There you
stuff
go.
up.
No,
So
no.
go ahead, Dave.
Everybody has to look at one. Go ahead, dude. Try to get this one right.
Hey, is this a? Oh, never mind. You already did that
Stanley.
Stanley's
out of business?
No, I don't think they're out of business.
Well, you
They're
just
still-
said that, didn't you?
Well, I was just.
Oh,
goofing.
all right.
Yep.
Now this right here.
Tanking their stock.
Huh? Tell me that's not interesting. Suspending.
Is that a Stanley jerkbait?
It. Perhaps. Saying it ain't. I'm not playing your reindeer games.
We just learned from John Hunter that a jerkbait is a 4-season bait from Bass University
I
TV.
see you guys left me
A
all
lot
the-
of us put it down.
You guys
I put
left
it
me
down
all
in
the
the
good
summer.
stuff.
I do. I'm guilty of it.
Oh,
you
in
know?
summer? I don't throw it in the summer.
Yeah, that's
Yep.
where a lot of us are missing opportunities.
So I have a couple cool things.
It's a 4-season
You guys
bait.
got all the really cool stuff.
What do you got? 'Cause we
The
left
sexy
you.
shit.
Go ahead.
Flickety split. I guess it's a flick shake hook.
Mm-hmm.
So
Let me see that.
nice looking.
Who's that made by?
Flickety split.
Dude, bottom line.
Weed guard on the 60 degree for weedlessness.
Is that for
Right.
them Senko guys?
Yeah, it's for the give that to James Riley right there. Hook-
So you throw it on
hook up
you
Jimmy
throw
Riles.
a Catch Company Pro Series worm.
Yeah,
Nice stuff.
They throw a lot of them in there. Yep.
Yeah. I'll tell
This
you
is
what.
shaky head worm.
And this, I saw these at the Classic. I haven't seen cream baits. in a
You were
long
talking
time.
about
I
cream
did.
worms.
I did. Well, not
Creme.
even the worms. I was talking about the creme worm with
Yeah.
the spinners.
Yeah.
But their trailers, they're really unique. They got like a lot of ribs on them,
Mhm.
and I just think that we throw so many trailers that are the same ones. I mean, everybody's been throwing it. When Kitech came out, it was like money. Everybody's throwing it. The bass now are all like, they feel it. There's a Kitech. I'm not eating that thing. It got me last week.
Yeah.
But these things have like a rib in them. These cream baits.
Yeah.
They're really sweet, and they have some really cool colors. I bought a bunch of them.
They don't have spinners on them now.
Hey, Brian. Brian, do I have your attention?
They can
Brian?
be added.
Yes, David.
Brian, what was that? Who was that leech you used to pitch as a creature bait back in the day? Was that Krem? That leech, that black leech, it was about 4 inches.
Yeah, I don't know whose that was.
Dude, so Brian, back in the day, this is like 20 years ago, before beavers came out and the glide baits came out, he had found, it was one of those companies like Krem. It was a leech with these really thin, like wings, and it would glide through, and he was murdering stuff on that before beavers came out and all those glide baits came out, man.
I remember that
Sports
thing.
Authority, dude. They were like thick, man. Like,
I remember that bait.
No, it wasn't Power Bait, dude. Sure? It was a company like that, like Krem, whether it was Renegade or Renoski or whoever it was, dude. You know. What do you got, Brian?
That was in there too.
Hey, Brian just notified me. I think we have Worldwide on the call. Are you there?
I'm here.
How are you, brother? You spoon jacking? What are you doing, man?
Jaw jacking.
I've been jaw jacking. Yeah, jaw jacking and hog whacking.
Go on, son.
Not really the hog whacking part. No, not so much.
Well, we've got the great James Watson on the phone with us. It's good to have you, man. What do you got going on?
Well, thanks for having me, Pete. Got a lot going on.
I
got 3 weeks off.
3 weeks off, man. That's a lot in the world of pro fishing.
Wow.
I know. I'm gonna mow my yard 93 times.
I heard you put down. You laid down a big bet, a big challenge on Table Rock.
I did. New thing, Mark Jeffries of Bass Zone, one-on-one, BZ one-on-one live, and he threw this idea at me. I said, "Man, I like that." And he says, "You can make the challenge on your home lake if you want. People dare to take it. Great." And I said, "Well, dude, I'll make it on the home pond." And I said, "I'll make it for $5,000 to anybody. Anybody wants to come fish against me that's got $5,000 in $1 bills."
Every time I have $5,001 bills, I go someplace else. Sorry.
Where are you going?
To the bank.
Yeah. Brian the Carpenter's houses of ill repute.
Yeah, right. Brian and I go make it rain somewhere.
Man, I can't even tell you the last time I've been to one of them.
Brian's ghost.
Hey, what are you guys drinking tonight?
We got all day IPA. We're drinking. Brian, what beers did you bring? You brought Founders All Day IPA, and what was that other one?
Sample pack from Breckenridge Brewery.
Yeah, that was really
good for you guys.
Pete's drinking whiskey, of course.
What are you drinking?
Nothing yet. I'm driving at the moment on the way to the lake house. Sherry and I are in the Suburban, and we're getting ready to stop in here and get us something to eat right here at the Kimberlin City Bridge.
So what's in the cup holder of the Suburban?
Right.
Where's the roadie?
Crown and Sprite.
Yeah.
Like you said, I haven't really started drinking yet.
Yeah.
Sounds like you guys have been at it a little while.
Yeah. It's getting sloppy here. Sorry, James. But you got.
That's all right. I like it.
So you were in this tournament. Were you on the FLW tournament where this thing went down?
Yeah, I was. Sort of. I paid an entry fee.
Yeah.
Contributed.
What did you? What's your take on that situation?
I think Randy Haynes. I know Randy and I know Lambert both, and I think Randy Haynes probably did a great justice for himself and showed the utmost of putting this freaking boat on the trailer.
Really?
Because I know Randy Haynes, regardless of what took place, I know Randy Haynes was just pissed off enough to have thoughts of murder. and when a man gets that way, your best personal control and best constraint is to put it on the trailer, and that's what Randy did. And I can't say what he did is right, wrong, or indifferent, but he did what's right for him, because I can promise you he had thoughts of running his boat through the middle of Lambert's.
Well, good thing he didn't live up
at
here.
At a high rate of speed.
Good thing up here, dude. You gotta hit My Fox Philly Sledgehammer Road Rage, dude. We had a guy up here, Road Rage on a dude with a sledgehammer. Go fix it, Felix on the guy. Got out when he tried to fight him. He bashed him with the hammer, dude. You guys see that on the news? You gotta check that out, Watson.
No.
I don't watch the news.
I'm gonna have to Google that one.
Dude, Google My Fox Philly Sledgehammer Road Rage. It's rad, dude. This dude goes totally Thor on everybody with a sledgehammer, man.
These guys on the tour thinking about killing each other. I need to really start marketing real snot to them. Because they're going to be in jail and they're going to need it, right?
Real snot force field or something.
I'm not trying to put words into Randy Haynes' mouth. I'm just. This is my personal take on the whole thing. You know, Randy's take is old school and say, hey, he knew I was fishing here and he beat me here. And then he got mad because he got beat, like in a boat race, to a really, really super good spot. So obviously it was the best spot on the lake when number 1 and number 2 are hammer jacking freaking 80 million pounds of it.
But do you think if Jason was like 5'8", that would have went down a little bit differently?
I don't know.
You think
Both of them are pretty big old boys.
Like, what's his name? Hogarth from Harry Potter? You know what I mean? Like a dude. You know what I mean? That's right. That's something that had nothing to do with it, right? Yeah.
I've never seen the Harry Potter movies. I'm going to take your word on that.
Yeah, big ass dude with a big beard.
Hagrid.
That would be
A
Hagrid.
little dude with the wand. A little dude with the wand might deal a little damage on him.
Why is a guy with a beard intimidating? What's scary about a beard? You know what I mean?
It's mysterious.
That's why I grew one.
So, James, tell us a little bit more about Mark Jeffries' deal. Got to lighten us on what's going on with that.
This is kind of like, this is just high stakes gambling, fellas, at a different level. You know, $5,000 to pay me a really nice FLW entry fee. But all it is an opportunity to showcase your, maybe showcase your lake, showcase what little talents you might have, and some products, and do it live. And, you know, live kind of like Major League Fishing style. You know, we're going to put them on the scale and release them, and it's all going to be 3 hours long, live right here in my backyard. I'm looking forward to it.
But
I already got walks.
Anybody can issue a challenge. It doesn't have to be against Watson on Table Rock. Anybody in the country can offer up a challenge against anybody.
No, and if this thing gets taken off, Bass Zone should, make it calendars like I'm going to be in your area this week. And then people in that area should start issuing these challenges. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Issue these challenges for 500, 5,000, 10,000, whatever floats your boat. And have Jeffries come to town that week with this crew and do these challenges. Hey, we're going to be in the Table Rock Bull Shoals area the week of such and such. And get locals to jump in it if they want to. Or,
Is Simon Cowell behind all this? Because that sounds like the same thing he did with the people that could sing. Remember that?
Yeah,
what was that?
No doubt. Yeah, American
What
Idol.
was that
American
show?
Idol.
Yeah. Yeah.
Coming to your
Something like
town,
that.
ready to go.
I don't think he's got $5,000 to gamble.
I don't think so either. He's hurting.
Anyway.
Eric would like to wager his 1983 Jeep against you.
Come on, man. 84.
With dueling Senkos on South Jersey ship.
Yeah. I think that would be the best.
You down,
is to
Watson?
see James Riley versus Brian the Carpenter in a Senko derby.
I'd rather go to work.
Yeah. Does it have dual headers on it? And hey, that's something too you can do. There's got a remarks section where you can say, issue a challenge for such and such date on such and such lake, frog only tournament, or deep crank tournament only, whatever. You know what I'm saying? You can do that. You can do a specialty deal. So I'm 99.9% sure that Jeff Sprague's going to take this challenge.
Hey, James, it's Jark Meffries. How you doing, boy?
Hey, Mark, it's Bill Taylor.
Jark Meffries. In my universe, we got a contest. It's going to be 2 squirts of real snot and a ruler. Who wins?
Well, I'll tell you what, that real snot does really good on my equipment. You know what I mean? My equipment.
I'm telling you, guys are gonna make me change the whole warning label after this show.
Dude, you're gonna sell out by the time you get home.
It's a big industry.
So has anybody taken you up on your challenge?
Well, I believe Jeff Sprague's going to take this challenge. He called me. He says, I'm looking at it. And I said, I know you got $5,000, Sprague. Bring it.
Bring it.
And he can even stay at my house. I told him he's invited to stay at the house, so save his hotel bill.
Well, hey, man, I was watching that Travis Lake tournament, the Elite, and I watched all them guys rip you off with that spoon jacking thing under the marinas.
Well, hopefully some of them give me some credit.
None.
Nobody said that while they were doing it, you know?
Nobody gave you credit for the whopper plopper. They're not going to give you credit for the jig ripping.
No.
You just have to live with knowing you're an innovator and an educator.
I'm known for two things: throwing a whopper plopper and dipping a spoon in deep water stalls. That's it.
Did you see Brian the Carpenter's whopper plopper incident?
No, I didn't.
Go to the Ike Live Facebook page.
I will. I'll check that out. Was that recently?
Yeah, it was the other day.
Oh boy! Did somebody get injured
today?
Yeah, there was some slight injury and some surgery, and everything's good now. Whopper plopper's an amazing bait.
Yeah, it's great for hooking fingers.
Yes.
Hey,
Jacob Wheeler refers to it as a flopping style bait.
Flopping style bait.
Treble hook's only designed to catch fishermen's fingers.
Yep.
Yeah, Watson, you sold me a lot.
Are you coming up north anytime? Are you coming up doing any of them coasters up this way, James?
No, we do have an MLS. I think we're coming up that way, but that's the week after ICAST, I think.
I got you.
Somewhere. I'm not sure where it's at, but it's north. You're north.
Yes.
That's the Ike Foundation tournament. Isn't it?
Is it after ICAST?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're coming to the Ike Foundation tournament?
After ICAST?
Yes.
Well, I'll have to see those dates.
It's the greatest tournament on the
I would
Delaware
love
River.
to.
It's the greatest
I
tournament
love
on the Delaware River.
I would love to spoon jack that one harbor with all them battleships.
They're in there.
Try some.
Yeah. We all would. You get thrown out of there as soon as you sneak under the bridge.
Fuck the police.
I'll just throw my veteran status at them.
Yeah.
That's right, James.
Yeah, flag wave them. Yeah, keep you in there.
Well, where are you at next? You're home for 3 weeks. Where are you going next?
We are headed to St. Clair.
Ah, sweet.
Yeah. You guys got any waypoints for me? Snap some pictures. Send them quick.
Yeah, I got a few up there. We'll send them your way, man.
All right, I appreciate it.
Yeah.
So
subterfuge.
So
FLW's allowed to have that information. You know?
What is the information rule in FLW?
I think it goes off limits tomorrow.
Better send them in now.
I think they have right in the fine print soliciting information on the Ike Live show is prohibited.
Longitude
It is
153.
It's completely acceptable in the rules I read. So, man, it's been an up and down season for me. I either got it or I ain't got a clue.
That's the way it goes sometimes.
Yep, it does. Most time it goes the I ain't got a clue part for me.
That sounds like my career.
That's my career. So.
Hey, well, we see you everywhere, man. And there's been talk of you also stealing my tagline. I'm James Watson, bitches, and I have copyright.
Did you do that, James?
That's your. You actually do you sign on and off with I'm James Watson, bitches? But you're really Pete.
Maybe I should. I'll take your name.
Well, if it makes you money, just send my 10% this way.
All right. Yeah. I will. Me and the Elite Boys will cut you a check straight away.
You guys are the money-making machines. That's all I know about you guys.
Actually,
this show, what do you get? You know, probably $1 million per episode you get paid here, Mike.
Facts.
Yeah, that's pretty much it, you know. As the co-host, I get the lion's share, but it's
only
a $250,000
reason-
each for all the other guys.
The only thing that allows you to say millions is because Noah's in the room. If he wasn't here and Becky's upstairs, there ain't no money in this room, dude. That broke room, dude.
But we do have a stocked liquor cabinet, so it's all good.
Although James Riley has dough. He's sitting back there quiet. He's got dough. He's got big, deep pockets.
He's got it.
Yeah, Pete handed me a check
Got
and
it.
said, "Here, this is your check for tonight, but don't try to cash it."
James Riley. Jimmy Riley's
Hold on
pockets
till
start.
Christmas.
Yeah, Jimmy Riley's pocket started at his knees and ended his thigh, dude. That money ain't coming out, man.
Oh, man.
Well, we look for some big things from you, James. We appreciate you taking time to give us a shout.
Guys,
we're going to be watching.
Throw a Cinco, Watson.
Thank you. Those Cinco, that's all I do is knob a Cinco around on 50-pound braid. Thanks for having me. I'll be more upbeat next time. I'll come up and do one live with you here soon if you got some room for me.
Please do.
Yes.
I'm excited about Bass University. Hope Bass and the FLW schedules are not clashing next year, so we all can watch each other fish and do whatnots.
I want to come out.
Activity.
I want to come out with you, and we want to. We're already talking about this, but we want to come out and do a Bass University piece and teach people how to do this spoon thing out there at Table Rock.
You bet. I will show you, Grasshopper.
Yes. Look forward to that, brother. And thanks again. Good luck at Lake St. Clair. I always confuse that with Sinclair. Lake St. Clair up there
St.
in
Lawrence?
Michigan, and we'll be watching.
Thanks, you guys.
Thank you, man.
Good luck, James.
All right, see you, Ken.
Take care. See you, bud.
See you,
All right.
Jimmy.
Bye.
See ya.
Where's Sinclair at? Sinclair.
Sinclair's in Georgia.
All right.
Well, there's two, isn't there?
All right.
Isn't there another Sinclair?
What else you got, Pete?
No, it's Sinclair.
Man, my list is we talked to whoever we needed to talk to, but I think we covered everything. We did our mystery tackle box opening. We talked to Ike. We talked about the amazing fishing on the Upper Chesapeake. Everybody subscribe to BassU.tv. Everybody go purchase some real snot for crying out loud. All the abuse tonight. You owe at least two bottles
Jason
each
kicked
for everybody.
my butt right on. What do you call it? National TV. I got my butt kicked right here.
Eric's Pulitzer Prize is up on screen here.
Oh
Yeah.
We got to watch this. We got upcoming a series of events.
This is hard to watch.
Starring
series of unfortunate
BTC.
events.
Coming up, starting now. Don't look.
Oh.
Dude, say the word, I'll rip it right out. It's almost like that scene from Talladega Nights where somebody just steak knife in there.
Oh, yeah.
We'll use this knife to pry it up.
I'm loading up on the line. Oh. Let me know when you're ready.
Hit it. Oh! Ah! Feels good. Oh! 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 Oh!
Let me tell you about my best friend. He's a warm-hearted person who loved me till the end.
Like I said, you guys do all the work. I just make the edits.
I'm so sorry. I was the cause of all of that.
You guys, we see the aftermath. What the hell happened? How'd that get in your hand?
Well, I was handing Dave some stuff from my boat to his boat with a handful of stuff, and a whopper plopper happened to be in the middle of it, and he grabbed it and set the hook.
Oh! So the whopper plopper slid across the top of the box, and the back treble grabbed one of the lips on the flambeau box, and the front treble was exposed and rode along his hand till it totally penetrated his finger, dude. And
So
that's like those what is that
They're
size?
big.
6. That's those number 6 treble hooks, man. They're big with a big ass barb, man.
So what you clipped off?
Yeah, so we made a first ill-advised attempt to jack it.
No,
Eric,
tell him how Eric
all right,
did
yeah,
it.
no, very ill-advised.
No,
So,
wait,
like, the
whoa, wait a minute.
illest of
You had a failed attempt to remove it?
Oh,
Yes.
it was bad.
What was that? What?
It sucked.
With a pair of pliers?
Just,
No, Eric took the
just
braid
trying to
and
do the line trick, but
Eric
with no
Eric
force.
grabbed the braid like between his hands and was like sliding off the braid, and it's just enough to be like, ah! Like, but there's not pulling it out.
Yeah.
No, it didn't help the situation. I don't have.
What?
It was very tender by the time Dave got to it.
You should have videoed that.
Did you start beating on him with the paddle? Or?
No.
So Brian tried to do it with a pair of pliers. I'm like, dude, why don't you just rip it out with pliers? Because that's how I did it once. And he was just like,
So Dave with his, no, you don't need that line trick. Back in my day, we chewed on a nail.
You rubbed some Advil on it. And
I never once thought Brian is the toughest guy in this room. I've seen him almost cut his hand off, and he puts like duct tape and napkins on it. Toughest guy in this room. I never once was questioning your manhood on that. I just thought you could have went with the plier. That's all.
The line trick
So
works.
Put some
first,
cussing on it.
Eric tries to do the line trick. It fails.
Yeah, well, I didn't have the hook held yet.
And he pulled?
And he pulled.
Oh.
So you got to grab the shank and twist the shank the right way and jack it.
God.
So it wasn't ready.
Yeah. I felt so bad, dude. I was
like,
so responsible.
He's like,
you felt bad.
So then you took a pair of pliers?
No, we clipped the hooks off because I was afraid that.
Yeah, that I was going to get hooked some more.
Hooked again.
Right.
You pull it out of one.
You pull one, you grab the other, right? That one went
So you
through my
cut
thumb.
them off.
Thanks.
Yeah.
And then that's when Dave.
I jumped in the water so I could be level with the wound. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I wrapped it around my finger. I saw what Eric was doing. I've never done this type of maneuver before on anybody. I saw what Eric was kind of doing wrong, by not being assertive enough on it. You know, and Brian positioned it right. We had all the hooks off. I wrapped the braid around my finger, and then
Dude, you were like a professional bowler follow through on that thing, man. You were like,
I wanted to come out quickly, like fast and hard, so like it
You-
got out of it.
you know what's funny about-
be like, ugh, and come with it. You know what I mean?
What's funny about the situation though is that I remember when you got down to do it, Brian's like, "Oh, Eric, you should be GoProing this," and Dave's like, "No, don't do that." But it's like, it's funny to think that during these horrible situations, you have to be GoProing it. No matter what's going on, you should be filming. Just in case
I'm
something
not a
like
big
this
camera
comes
guy
out of
on
it.
when these things are.
Look,
You
man,
know?
Rich and
It's
I,
like
every time we talk about something bad that goes wrong, like on the way to when we're going fishing, if we say, "Oh, you know, that happened. Oh, did you hear about what?" Or that happened to me 25 years ago. We always say something. And I was like, "Dude, I've never had a hook go through the bar, you know, that I couldn't get out." And he's like, "Yeah, me either." The first day of practice in Georgia, I get like this 11-inch bass hits a rattle trap. I go to grab him, and I went to grab, and he flicked, and I was like, ah, and he's like, no.
and the fish is flopping.
Oh, and he's flopping. I grab him, hold him. I'm like, oh my gosh, give me a knife. I'm gonna cut this thing's head off. And he comes there, and we get the fish off, and he's like, all right, let me get the braid out. I'm like, are you gonna do that to me? He's like, yeah, and I'm like, oh, and it doesn't hurt that much. I mean, it really didn't. It hurt worse getting the hook in there, but he knew how to do it. So
here's the trick: everybody wants to go 1, 2, 3 and pull, and what happens when you're that guy? You want to tense up or move. The trick is you always pull on 2 because they're expecting 3, so they don't tense up on you. And
Yeah, that's what Eric did to me, but I wasn't ready.
I put my hand up and look at my hand.
That's what I was kind of going for.
That's crap because I'm going to be like, are you really going to pull on 3, or are you just saying you're going to pull on 3?
I might pull on 1.
Yeah,
I might pull
You're
on
already
1.
psyching
Danny
me
Glover,
out, man.
like Murtaugh and Riggs, dude.
1, 2, 3,
Yeah.
go.
Dude, the funniest thing I was thinking about this the other day when I was driving. The funniest thing about the whole thing, we had a couple weird things happen that day. Like Eric caught this gorilla fish, a giant 6-pounder, but it got quiet after after it came out. Eric's like, "Is this what's like to fish with you guys?" Because like
Well,
the 3 of us had very rarely.
I
come
already
together.
kind of knew that, but now I'm fishing with you more and more, and I'm really starting to see it. You know, it's just coming out more and more every trip.
It's my fault that
I'm looking at you, Brian.
I didn't precipitate what led to those events.
I took full responsibility.
Okay, all right, but I still wear it for life. Anyhow, let's wrap this shit up, bro.
Let's wrap it up. Thank you, everybody.
Hey, a couple
Did we give
shout
away
outs.
all the shirts?
We did.
Okay,
5 winners
if
tonight.
you don't have, if you wanted one, you can go to our website. We have them on there now. It's gonna be a great cause because we're gonna donate the proceeds to the Ike Foundation. We got some cool stuff on there.
Nope.
Got these new. I don't know if you can see it. These new buffs. They're awesome.
nice.
Hook Fish hooked me up. These are Italian fabric.
Ooh.
So they are 50
Corinthian
UV
leather.
by fabric, not by dipping into a chemical. So these guys actually, so I talked about the support earlier for us. These guys called me up and said, hey, I heard about your story on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
We just want to help. Tell us how we can help you guys. And Mark Hubner and his staff have been awesome, and they hooked us up with these jerseys, for the gratis. They said, hey, look, let us help you out. So
awesome.
If you're looking for a good jersey company, these guys were a good buff. These things are awesome, and like I said, they're not chemically dipped. They're fabric UV50, and we have them on our website right now. So
excellent. And if you don't have a computer, on the corner somewhere in South Carolina, you can find Real Snot T-shirts for sale and discounted prices.
That hurt.
Check your local tree.
Check the trees.
But thank you everybody. Thank you, Jason Lambert, for joining us tonight. Thank you, Worldwide, James Watson. Thank you, Ike. And
there's a whole bunch of stuff we didn't go over with.
Yeah, I got that.
BTC.
Yeah, no, I just want to send a shout out to our buddy Steve Donis. His daughter Maya's back in the hospital undergoing some stuff, and
who drew that T-shirt?
Yeah, Steve's the guy, the artist who drew this here stuff and draws all kinds of cool stuff for us, and did that for the Real Snot guys. Steve's an awesome dude, and his family's had a tough week.
We're
Maya's
with you, Steve.
Back in the hospital again. So, also, a friend of the show, Dave Cook, is battling melanoma again. This is probably his third or fourth bout with it. Canadian guy, good dude. I communicate with him on social media. Limey bastard on social media. Stay strong, Dave. And May is Cystic Fibrosis Awareness Month. It's meaningful to me because my brother had it, passed away. But if you want to go to www.fightcf.cff.org, read up about it, contribute, maybe if you can help, and that's it.
The next 20 foot deep, the only missing classic trophy has been found. It's going to debut in June. Bass Zone Live, Mark Jeffries. Watch
yes,
that too.
That's coming up. It's going to be awesome.
Coming up.
All right. Take us home, Peter.
Hey, thank you, everybody, for being here. Thanks, guys, for watching. We're going to be back with a new episode of Ike Live real soon. We'll let you know when that's going to be. I'm Pete Gluzek, bitches. We'll see you soon.